right. Hey. You're first on. We'll try to get some shout outs done. But I was running behind today. Why is this popping up here? Okay, good. Sounds good. That's awesome to hear. I like to hear that for a change.
Hi, welcome back to Gamescape 3D. Today we're going to do a speed paint of one of our little peasant houses to show how easy these things are to paint. Here's the peasant house I have to paint today. It has been primered black. Okay, so we're all ready to go. So I got about 3 minutes into it so far. We got the base, we got the roof, and then we have a few smaller components. I have flat boards here for the loft, and then I got a little itty bitty window parts there, and then I have a hood for the flue up on the
Thanks,
roof.
Chris.
And this
Thank
could be
you.
resin printed or FDM printed.
Thank you very much. I'll reshout that out when I'm on the other screen.
Lastly,
all good, man.
We have
Comma, your stuff got sent out. You may have it already, but
with a filament hinge.
But it got sent out, I believe, Monday. So maybe it was 3D or a 3-day point.
The filament's supposed to run through can get clogged up on your resin doors. Sometimes
doing well
the resin
today.
will just settle in there when it's washed
hey, Greg.
kind of harden.
Yours went out too, Andy.
These doors,
so
it might just be a little off.
I'm all caught up with one exception.
Clean it out. If you do, you can use a drill bit. 5/64.
Got some interesting stuff going on,
size
man.
You need
super interesting.
Clean out.
I'm waiting for Anna, and Gary Holing will be on sometime.
So if I have a door there.
Between the first, after we come on and before 8 our time. I think he'll be on it before that, but he'll get on as soon as he can. So, yeah. It's all good. I'm just trying to, I was running a little late.
So we got those holes cleaned out. Should be plenty.
Oh, that's cool.
For a filament.
Nah, dude, you're not insulting me at all, man. You fall asleep and lurk. I'm hunky dory with that, man. All the way.
Onto the timber frames.
Today we go over the first.
I'm going to use a pretty good sized brush. I don't care about getting brown.
One that we know of that hit DM's Guild
for this first part,
along with some other things about the Great Kingdom.
So there's my brown.
Still waiting on Anna. I'm still doing shot. I was running really late today because my son had
so much
his standing doctor's appointment every 3 to 6 months. So
details, of course.
Traffic was a nightmare, so I was way behind getting home.
Don't want to waste your time creating an even coat around this.
Yeah.
It'll actually take away from it in the end.
Time is it? All right, we got 10 minutes still. Hope you're all doing well. What's up, Gary? Yeah, that's fine, man.
Do make sure you kind of hit
that works.
The tops and the bottoms of your timbers. Okay.
I can talk about.
Don't just paint the face.
Well, I can show.
Because you're not going to be coming.
We're going to have 3 giveaways today, which is awesome.
Sides. This is kind of the last time they should be getting painted, unless you absolutely have to come back in to do a little touch.
We got a great special guest game tomorrow night. Nothing on Saturday this week though, so that's all right. I need to get my Gary Con games in and all the other stuff. Hey Kurt, 3 giveaways, 3.
To keep
in this economy.
Plaster parts.
Well.
Or to apply this wood color to the plaster.
I only have to mail out one of them.
Intention, and I might glaze over these. And
plus, I have a huge announcement.
Black timber lines.
Huge.
Through, kind of dry.
And I have permission, so I'm not going to get in trouble doing it.
As opposed to like a straight paint job. And I might do it both ways.
It's bigger than.
Saturate it a little bit and Sometimes I might just kind of.
Dude, I hope so too, man. And I know I'll have at least 5 open signups for the first game. Remember, I will be DMing Tower of Gygax Thursday at 5. That's Central Time, right? All things Central there. I will be doing the Tower of Gygax, and that's open seats. So all you have to do is be there.
Kind of create a
Sit
little
down.
bit of your shimmer.
So I already have my time slot set for it, courtesy of Curtis, of course. So, yep.
So finish that up.
Still waiting for Anna.
Okay, so no big deal there, huh? It's about 2 minutes or so, maybe 3. We had the first part here.
So I had a great meeting with someone last night, and we and a team. We're kicking things off.
To the roof now. When we come
which
back,
is so exciting. I cannot wait.
We'll do the inside.
Cannot wait.
I could do the ground right now too. That's a pretty similar color.
For some of the great things we got going on.
Hurt anything? I'm not particularly
so
certain it matters.
All right, got them all out. Okay.
The walls are before, since I'm going to be.
See what we got here.
You know, putting dirt down
Prof.
as well. But I'm just going to put down a quick coat of this.
Yes, I have permission to do it. Yep.
So it'll be a nice little backdrop for the dirt I put in there.
Comes Anna.
Again.
Hey.
Don't care really about applying an even coat.
But
see here.
Be careful. Not
so
worried about hitting the
guy will be on probably in 40 minutes, so we're good.
Yep.
And yes. Our
another thing is when you put that
our partner in crime is
it's going to go.
We were talking via text after the meeting last night. I'm letting them all hear and chat here. And I said I'm sending that message to Watsy per their request, and he said do it, and he said get the excitement going up in the community too. So we're gonna announce what we're doing tonight.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna go ahead and. We're just going to be
Luke 6.
Yellow,
I almost gave him some of the way on chat right now. He is very excited. I'm super excited. Anna is going to be busy. We're all going to be busy.
Black comes through, all the better. If there's parts where the black doesn't come through, I'm just going to use a big brush like this just to get this done. Okay. Don't use a tiny brush to do a big job. Just get that big brush and knock it out.
All right. Let's see what time is it. All right, let me go to the other screen here. Hey, darling. See darling tomorrow night. What's up, Naz? Yes. Are you going to be around, Naz, for that announcement?
Coming through some areas, maybe the paint covers up everything. Other areas, it's just kind of washed, you know.
Let me go to, let me hit a button here. A right button for a change.
Mix it up a little bit.
Bum, 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 bum.
Like I said,
what's up, Jeremy? Everyone's back from Game Hole. Jeremy, please tell me you're not sick. I don't know that many people got sick at Game Hole.
Oh, I did get sick. I'm very tired,
hey,
but not sick.
Sparky, what's up? Yeah, I was running late tonight, so the son's doctor appointment was in the further away office. And traffic was awful, so we got here. I got a new color shirt too. I got a dark blue or darker blue than the lighter blue shirt on. I got a test color of it. So far, so good. It's good to hear. I'll tease it then, Naz. I'll tease something. Alright, sound good. I got this 25. Who was it? Cardman that had like 85 or something crazy? 85 in a row. That was nuts.
History professor. That was awesome to see you too. That was great. Yep.
Prof, you didn't meet Anna at GaryCon?
Yep. No,
no, GaryCon. Last year, he was at GaryCon. I know he got sick there though.
I'm not sure. Maybe we said hi, but that was maybe briefly. But I don't remember from GaryCon. But this Game Hole, yes.
So, but wait a minute. So you were sick, and it was okay to meet me though, but not Anna. I got it. That's cool. Nice. I know, man. I am just busting. I get it enough from you. I can give it back a little bit. One second here. Now I forgot what I was doing. Oh my gosh. Hey, Coco. I said, see Coco, see Curtis. Whoops. See, maybe I hit the wrong button. Oh my gosh. Yes. We'll put this again for a second. See Coco and Darling and Curtis and Korg tomorrow night. Special game. Special Thursday night game. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm as good as can be expected. I can't remember what I was doing, Prof. You got me, man. Yeah, you better be excited. You better be able to run fast. Just kidding. I was joking. Nice. What was I doing? Oh, setting up a giveaway. Duh. There we go. 3 giveaways tonight. We'll go over them. We're off the bat.
Yeah, it was so much fun to meet so many awesome people at Game Hall that I've never had a chance to talk to in real life and stuff. That was fantastic. Yep.
Recent events here. Okay. Oh, Josh is on too. I got permission, Josh, so don't yell at me. We're going to get excitement up. Considering everyone, since I saw Joe Blocks has already made silver his publication on DM's Guild. So already made silver level, which is awesome. So all right, let me make sure if I got to fix. Oh, I don't have to fix the screen. Oh, that's right, because we used it last night. So what's going on, everyone? This is the official kickoff to the week here, so it's good to see you all. I'm JK Lorkazumba, and with me is, of course, Anna B. Meyer. Gary Julian will be on shortly, probably sometime after 7:30. Oh, we got a hype train already. Wow. Awesome. Thank you. 3 giveaways. 1, Classic D&D reprint giveaway like usual, your choice. Of course, if we go over, we passed level 3 hype, I'll double it. But you got your choice of so many books now that I'm actually buried in them. Thank you, Patrick. Marklands would be a good one to go to for our discussion tonight. If you don't have it already, that would be a real good one, and I'll explain in a second. Or Eyes the Evil. Yeah, that'd be good. So, boom, 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 boom. Thanks, Rascal. Yeah, so that. But 2 free downloads, courtesy of Stuart Kerrigan and Paul Luby, of this off of DM's Guild, which we're going to be talking about tonight. First publication, the GREYHAWK Knights of Doom. So, how's sound anyway, by the way? You guys can hear okay? I think I have my sound down. I can barely hear.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good now. I'm good, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you as normal, so we'll see.
Oh, you got the box set. Yeah, that's cool. That can be a good one. So yes, and we'll talk about that. Both sound good. That's good one here. Do you have something to buy? Well, don't buy this till the end of the show because you may win it off of DM's Guild, and we're gonna share it and go over that. But here, since Naz was gonna pass out, let me just say this, okay? And I'm gonna announce final. We'll tease him. We have myself, Anna, and another community member, and some big legends of D&D have a publication for DM's Guild that's going to be ready. Our goal is by Gary Kahn, and we're starting to work on it. Our first big meeting was last night, and I'll give more details at the end. It's exciting.
Are you going to wait until the end?
Oh yeah, of course I am. That was a teaser. That was a teaser. That was a teaser.
I was expecting you.
No. But that's
smart.
It.
That's smart.
And we informed Watsy about it. So there you go. All right. What time is the end? 1 hour and 59 minutes from now.
Yeah, or something around there.
Yes.
Yep.
So, glory be, and it's not the Michael Baton guidebook or anything like that, Naz. I know that would be awesome for you, but it's something. It's something. Yeah. hang in there, man. Hang in there. If you can't, it's no big deal. I'll tell, because we'll be streaming tomorrow night too. All right. So tonight, Orgs of the Great Kingdom. Why did this come about? It's because of this publication it came about. Because man, they pushed this out. I'm assuming Joe had had his ready, but this one. And you may want to go re-download Anna. This is a new version. It fixed some typos and stuff. So
Oh,
if
okay.
you dry through, so GREYHAWK Knights of Doom by our great UK Brit friends Stuart Kerrigan, Paul Luby. Yeah, so we're
Now
gonna
I'm
go over
getting
this.
curious. Yeah.
We're gonna go over this, but we're gonna get.
I have version 0.01.
Then you have the right one then.
Okay, good. Yeah,
absolutely.
because I've already discovered a couple of things that might be typos and not. We'll see. Yeah. But if not, they will actually cool. But we get to that. Yeah.
Another thing is we're approaching 12,000 followers. I just set the goal for 11,950. We got a huge bump from the weekend. So just let's I want to get to 12. I'm going to be out like 2 full weeks almost in the middle of November. So pass the word, help me get there. Try and hit 12,000 by the end of the year. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So yep. All right. So let's start at the beginning. Where's the beginning on this discussion? The beginning of this discussion goes back. Warp, thank you. The beginning of this. Go ahead. No, go for it.
I was going to say, if we talk about organizations of the Great Kingdom, I think it's interesting to talk about the eras of the Great Kingdom because that affects what organizations. And I've identified that there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eras of the Great Kingdom.
Wow.
That will be be relevant. That it's the thing to keep in mind when you discuss the Great Kingdom, so to speak. One is the early era, the early era when the precursors of the Great Kingdom were formed. We're talking Leuco and all the stuff that happened long
really
before there was even a kingdom in the early invasion. Thalan was formed and so on and so forth. And I read through some of that today, and I found some cool stuff that I need to dig into that I missed earlier on. That it's every time I read it, you connect more dots, so to speak, and that's an interest because that's the time where I think a lot of these organizations and things that we see later on have their beginnings, the humble beginnings, so to speak, in that era. And then we have the kingdom era, the kingdom of Erdi, when the first Erdi nation was formed, so to speak, when the warring tribes had started to come and they defeated Elissa and the Flan and started to establish themselves in the east, so to speak. And then you have the empire era, the glory days, when the kingdom was growing political power, establishing itself, spreading, and it was a force for good in a lot of sense. The knight protectors and so on. There was rule of law and stuff like that, and we had the Foltus and a bunch of others Heronius and a bunch of others were established and spread throughout the Flannies. And then you have the declining era when the Great Kingdom starting falling apart and other organizations and so on started to appear and some of them that used to be glorious and lawful started to go the other way, so to speak, and things are happening. And then you have the abrupt, it's not an era, but then you have the fall, so to speak, when Rossi's fall and Evid dies and or disappears or whatever happens.
The worst era by far.
Exactly. And then you have the post Great Kingdom era, so to speak, where you have the North Kingdom and United Kingdom of Elissa and all of that. And a lot of these organizations, they kind of come and go throughout these epochs, and they change their nature, who runs them, etc., etc. So I think this is something just to keep in mind that
absolutely,
it's a very varied. When you talk Great Kingdom, you can talk about almost any of these eras, and the kingdom and the empire or whatever the shape it is at that particular time in history varies. Its role varies. That's its significance, and therefore also its organizations and its clout, so to speak, throughout the GREYHAWK history.
Thanks, Vamp. Hey, Dave. So the giveaway once again: one Classic D&D reprint giveaway and 2 of the Doom Knights publication. Now, we're not going to hear first. We're going to start at the beginning on this. thanks to Les and just some research, we're going to start here, right? We're going to start at, and you're going to say, why all the way back at Dragon 59 with this? Well, because of stuff by Rob Kuntz and Gary Gygax, right? And this is where a lot of it's gonna begin. And who is dinging me? It's got to be Tim. It's got to be the ever mysterious. We'll see here. So pages 20. Here we go. So we're gonna go to page 24 of Dragon 59. All right. All right. The Great Kingdom and Knights of Doom. So yes, the ever mysterious Tim may just join us to observe from close by. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Yes, let's hold off on that. Well, I'd say you don't want to order it until after you see if you want it. I mean, it's a few bucks only, but still, you may win it, right? So, but I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. So this is the article that starts it off. Now, the demonic knights, the Doom Knights, demonic knights of Doom are going to become. Carstarter is going to rename the Fiend Knights, right? When From the Ashes comes out. So, Red Scythe. Josh, I don't know what that means, man. Am I supposed to? I know what the Red Skull is. So, all right. This is just basically a news flash, and it's talking about wars going on here, and it says it's talking about incursions of Almor and Niron into the southern part of Beaumarch, as well as the answer to the North Province's call for aid against these attacks. The Herzog continues to muster his forces, awaiting the arrival of 2,000 seasoned veterans of battles. That doesn't seem like a lot to me for the Great Kingdom days. What's up, Stronghold?
Well, the population numbers were much, much lower in the early days.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, so you have to adjust the numbers according to what era rules mechanics or what era you're looking at, because these things evolved.
Stronghold question for you in chat there. Just want to make sure. So and it said that the Lord High Admiral Vesperti is actually sending his most gifted commander to see the raids around Belport. So there's a lot going on here. This is before any of the craziness that happens with Ivid, right?
Yeah.
This is all.
I was going to say, but 2,000 seasoned veterans, you can do quite a bit with 2,000. Meaning, come on, we're not talking men at arms here. We're talking seasoned veterans. I assume then there is like mid-level soldiers upwards, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, they may be just talking about special forces too, right?
Well, yeah, meaning, things that are capable, so to speak, not the run-of-the-mill little soldiers, not the one with only a backstory, the ones that have studied out.
I love in here how they say recently a league having association with the Archclerk of Foltis of the Blinding Light religion, having offices in many temples and around the Overking. Thanks, Armin. Good to see you, man. Has announced its great disfavor of the Overking. So there's some of the beginnings there. Yeah.
This is what Carl Sargent used when he wrote Ivid the Undying. He used these things, and they are part of that great series of news flashes and what's going on in GREYHAWK articles throughout the Dragon's earlier years.
Yeah, it was cool.
Really good. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. It was really cool, and so then. So Carcosa was arrested for treason and for subverting the state with falsified information, and then bad things happen. So here is the first publication that I think we all know of the publication that Stuart and Paul updated for 5e, and that is the Demonic Knights of Doom. And it says these knights appear as normal men with undistinguishable features, their faces hidden by visors. They always wear gold-plated armor in defiance and mockery. Yep, it is said of those line lawful good. Bad guys. All evil alignments. They're controlled servants of the Overking and Zane. So there's Zane. And so Zane has that triumvirate of adventures, too. Sometimes it's with a Z. Sometimes it's with an X. If you remember the Necromancer game publications. The Maze of Zane There you go. It's right there. So,
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We have a neighbor who has a dog that is named Zane, and I was like,
but
"Wow,
ZANE probably.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly." And I
yeah.
was like, "Damn!" So I had to ask how it was spelled. Then I realized they're not Greyhawkers, so I didn't ask. But I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." Yep.
So look at the amount of these guys. These are like there's a lot of them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
captains of forces, greater captains or colonels, uh, uh, generals of campaigns. You know, there's a couple of those, and then two marshals. They serve northern and eastern provinces. So they're going up the North Province and they're going over to Medici. It sounds like, and Relastra, no, Medici mostly. It sounds like eastern provinces that would be. So, and then all of their unit comparisons are here. So that is the first time we see. Yeah, yeah. Um, large 6 to 7. Well, if they're 7+, then they're large, right? A null 7, it's close. Remember, this is written a long time ago. I think they're considered all. Do you remember the beginning of Highlander when Kurgan shows up in that armor? And he's not 7 feet tall, but he certainly looks it in the armor. Right in that first fight in the original Highlander, the good one, same thing. I think it's a matter of perspective. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Dale, you got it. Dale, don't you have a thing tonight? Are you like hiding out? So I know this is your wheelhouse here. I know it's a yeah, the original, the good one. Yeah. Yeah, there's some decent ones. All right, so that's number one. All right, then we go to 63, which has one of my favorite NPC classes in it that I modified, the Bandit. Oh, cool. And let's go to this article here. If I can find it, it's early on, so I think it's 15. I think it's page 15. Still in the early days of Dragon, the glory era of Dragon magazine, let me tell you. There's this is a great little mini article right here where the bandits are. This is really cool. Showing all the different and from that
Mm-hmm.
more gets built on. So here's another Robert Kuntz talking more about what's going on in the area. Talking about the Sea Baron, a lot of warring going on in the Great Kingdom at this point. So, and we're looking in 577, 578. So we're still very early in the campaign setting. Because remember, they started the published campaign setting 576, right? So they're throwing this out there, as updates. So, yep. And here comes Grenell, and Grenell's still around, right? Even all the way up through 5th edition and everything, right?
He is one of the winners
He's one of the
of it
few
all.
that, yeah, he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah,
he's probably the ones that has the biggest blessing
because he's still human.
the Lord of the Nine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, at least that's what the rumors said, that he's still human. Yeah.
Well, we'll ask Dale. Dale will know, right? Dale, or he'll assume. So look, now we're getting some army sizes. 10,000. That's more like it for my own liking. And it's
Mhm.
talking about all the battles that are going on and all the positioning. Um, you know, so Herzog is in a quandary, for he must not only regain complete control of his own territory, but also be ready to furnish troops to over King Ivid when the confrontation between his master and Nyrond occurs soon. So this is a glorious era if you want to play pre-wars, because if you don't have to have all the Ivid the Undying stuff happen, man, this is the time to have at it. Lots and lots of large-scale battling going on all over the place.
And even if you don't play in this time, it's great to know this because
Yeah,
you can use it to tie back to stuff, so to speak. It's to know your history, because at least for me, that's what I build. I think, oh, all of this cool stuff happened. What happened after, right? The next chapter and the
right.
next chapter and stuff. That's so it's equally either you go back and play at this time, which is awesome, or you can use this to build as to the foundation to build the next adventure, so to speak.
My guess is a lot of people are going to go back in time because of the WotC stuff is all 576.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's my guess.
It's nothing wrong in that. It's
No,
awesome
no.
because then you have the
Starting
stuff
over.
that is later. You can use that as a foundation for your future chapters.
Mhm.
You don't have to play it out. It's just simply what do you decide to be history in your campaign, and what do you decide to be
Right.
fodder for future adventures, so to speak.
Yes. So, some fun things going on here. And like I said, Grenel's a survivor. And then we got actually some sea battles here, in the Solnar. And troops in the Sea of Medesia, that SEE, that's the place that really gets obliterated during Eve of the Undying, right? Um, yeah, I agree would be 100%. So note this. Those of you, tangent time here because Gary's not on yet either, so I can, right? Those of you who ran the G series, it makes no sense to go back and then say Sturridge and Geoff got wiped out, right? With a return to or whatever. So I'm there with you too. It's just like, we talk about Temple of Mental Evil, we talk about the Slavers series, all the, we did those in the 80s. So those are things you just leave out of your own personal campaign. I never run Return to Against the Giants. I just didn't. But I ran Return to White Plume Mountain, which was awesome. And Return to the Keep on the Borderlands, which I thought was really good. So they're the returns I did. What's up, Rob? Yeah. So this is all battling, going on, and I know somewhere mentioned in here are the. Is this it? I think this is it here. There is a lot of the Doom Knights about leading troops now for the Overking Avid. Yeah. So one of the captain generals got destroyed. I'm not sure if he got killed. I'm not going to go through this, but good. That's fantastic. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. I can't start over. For me to start over, I can't say it's a 44-year campaign anymore, and we got too much invested in it. But we can go back in time like we have, and that's what I'm going to be doing a little more of. I think, right, Anna?
I don't want to start
historical.
over either,
Right.
but I will learn more and more what happened, which means that
Right.
I can make cooler and cooler adventures
Yep.
going forward because there's more cool stuff to build on. And that's the way I see it. That's why I want to read more and more history. I want to understand more and more. But it also made me caution. I don't want to go all over the place. I want to stay local in small areas because that way I can read about this and while I'm studying other things and kind of build more and more of my understanding, build my own understanding of the setting, which to me is very important because I feel like I need to understand the place, what makes it tick, how did it work, and where can it be heading, so to speak? What direction is it heading?
Yeah.
But for me, that's really important. But that's just me and my overly lore-filled play style, so to speak.
Which is okay. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying that others, you don't need to do it anywhere near and as much to this if you don't want to, so to speak. Just pick the cool stuff and run with it. Yeah.
From the Ashes is going to have a lot of stuff that happened here, but a lot of the stuff when Gary's on, we're going to be really into this. Okay, so look for him between 15 and 20 minutes. We'll have Gary on. So in the meantime, while we're all here, off of these two articles, right, off those two dragons comes like the first DM's Guild publication. I think this beat Joe's by a day. So and this is it. So GREYHAWK Knights.
Yeah, I saw this a couple of days ago and Joe's yesterday, I think it was.
Right. Yeah. So the GREYHAWK Knights of Doom. Now it's only 5 pages, but it's a good 5 pages. So yeah. And so you're saying the current 5e rules doesn't have rules for these guys? I think they're built into this. So we'll look at this. We'll look at this. More stuff's coming. So, if you all know Stuart and Paul, they've done a ton, and Creighton and the whole crew over, they've done a ton of stuff for the community. Lots of, for Alkin. Okay, there you go. All right, so Raskol, Alkin, Raskol and Woodby, we're talking about 2 different things. Yeah. Well, this is a quick turnaround. I'm going to say this. For those out there that are disappointed or making a stink about this, it's part of getting things out quickly. Okay, and it's only charged like $2 for it. So it's not my place to tell someone how to publish. Okay, right? Plus, Stuart gave me a replacement. Hopefully, I don't embarrass him with this, but for the images here's Stuart's replacement image. Hopefully, you all enjoy this. There you go. Everyone feel better now? Seriously, he sent that to me. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
So, okay. Once again, we won't be using in ours any AI art. Okay, it's to each his own. All right, Rob, got it. Trust me, what I'm doing, Anna and I are doing with some other people, there won't be any. All right, just so you're aware. Okay. All right. Really some cool wording here. My eternal external. I attach the recent reflection and re-edification on the grave matters of the Fiend Knights of Doom, made possible by the cadaver and raiments recovered by your forces north of Mentir in the recent stories. So a little the Fiend Sage Rel Astra gives you that information. Yeah, we're not going there. But like I said, I can't tell everyone what to do. I'm not the GREYHAWK Publishing police here, but just know we won't be. All right. Yep. All right. So here it goes. It talks about some background here. Now this is all in 5e. The Fiend Knights of Doom were formed around 570 CY to serve as shock troops under the direct command of the Overking of Heraldry, Ivid V. Each chosen member had proven their prowess in the service of Malachite Throne, were taken sometimes unwillingly to be augmented by spellcraft. Ugh. But
yeah, this is something we need to discuss a little bit later when we
Yeah.
go over the nature of these dudes, so to speak, and compare them to others. Yeah.
So pre-animuses, they're still alive. They're just augmented.
Well,
So,
yeah, and yeah.
yeah. So that's good to hear. And so it looks like Ivid and Zane were behind this, and there's some Zane would disappear prior to the GREYHAWK Wars. His work was appropriated by his successor Karluk, who augmented the armor worn by the Fiend Knights and Ivid's companion guard, many of whom were this time early and openly devilish in nature. So it sounds like they're not tieflings, but they're imbued with infernal powers, right? So one thing Ivid 5 created was the name Segertis of Rel Devon, opined that the Naelix over Kings exhibited a proclivity for macabre theatrics, favoring flamboyant and cliched horrific appellations for their retinues. Yeah, it says he certainly outdid his forebears with these. So these are great to utilize, even if you want them a little outside of the Great Kingdom. I mean, for Von Moku terrorizing Nairon, that's perfect. Right? Perfect for Nairon. Perfect for any place that they used to lay claim to. So, no. They got their own. We'll get to it. They're not Cambions. They're not Cambions. They're humans that are infused with some infernal, devilish style power.
Cambions, I think, is someone who's born by parents who are least one fiendish, so to speak. Yeah.
Yep.
These are kind of created in some sense.
So here are their companies, and I don't know if these existed before or not, Sam. You can verify that. So you have your uses. There you go. That's perfect, Michael. The Howlers, heavy infantry regiment, so named for their.
I did heraldry for these dudes. That was kind of interesting. They could have asked, and they could have used my heraldry.
Yeah, and that may have been a little. Well, maybe they'll do an update. Hold on, I may have that. Let me.
Yeah, good, because
how long
they
ago
were part
of?
Was
it a year ago?
No, not really years. Like more like 6 months ago or something like that.
So what's the title?
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Heraldry work. Let me go to heraldry work, and you've outdone yourself on the number of frickin'
Yeah, because I did heraldry. on these.
Hateful Wars. Nope, not there. I'm hitting wrong buttons again.
There we go. And let's see. Now I'm going through
GREYHAWK
all the
Anna.
stuff here.
Great. I'm just typing in great first. I don't know if I have them unless they're called like howlers.
They are Fiend Infantry. They're Ivid Fiend Knights Cavalry and Ivid Fiend Knights Infantry. And then there are Fiend Knights. There is one with the monkey too.
So
Somewhere. Yeah.
can you Discord me all three of them separately, and then I'll
Yeah,
upload them.
I'll just
All
try
right, sounds
and
good.
find the yeah, that's the
That'd be awesome.
infantry. Yeah, now I need
Yeah,
to see where the
Nice
heck did
touch.
I put the
So
yeah. Somehow the third one. But anyway, yeah.
so heavy infantry, with guttural howling, their unnatural strength leads them, wields them great swords, long swords,
I remember I did
two-hand
the
swords.
yep, the
Bolters, cavalry. And nearly a
yeah,
quarter of their number ride undead skeletal steeds. Blah. Where all of them wield lances, javelins, and flails. And then the pointers, skirmishers and scouts to a man. These are the Overking's personal hunting dogs. A phalanx of heavily armored mounted archers. They're deadly with their devil dwarmored composite longbows. They're among those tasked to bring the wayward Patriarch Carcosa of Fultus to heel in 578. So there you go. Very cool.
we might and if I forgot to publish the, let's see, there's just an, and here's another one that is for tonight's
Cool.
discussion
Yeah,
a
please
little bit later.
Just keep on
Yep.
popping them in there, and I'll
Yep.
upload them. Yeah, I don't have. I there's so many that I lost. Give me a second. So, what are your thoughts on? Has anyone gotten this download already? Let's go aside from the Mid Journey issue. What are your thoughts? Because I think it's a good start for everyone, and that's the key thing. Let's have some good starts for the community. Getting some things out. Like ours isn't going to be out for months.
That's the infantry
All
one.
right,
Hang
so
on a
we'll
second.
go over these in a second here. I have three here, I think. Three.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's the I didn't do the ones, and that's cool because
I'll
that's
leave
a new
Discord
one to
open
me.
there.
Yeah, so I need to look into that one.
Okay.
I didn't do the pointers. I didn't do that one. So that's a new one for me. I'm not sure if they that's really
Oh
cool.
my God,
I
had
did
that up. I didn't even realize that. All right,
and
so
they put the name, the howlers and the bolters. That's the name they come up with. But these are based on the same text, so to speak. So yeah. So these are the bolters, the cavalry of. So I played around with Celtic stuff and
it's got a good feel to it. It does.
well, it was just ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Ideas and patterns and whatnot. So yeah.
And then this one is the
yeah,
so
same,
Cran and Conclave
patterns.
I hold on to. Yeah. Yeah, and this is the infantry one, right? Yep.
Yep, okay. That's the howlers.
Howlers. Here he comes,
yeah,
Gary.
they're called.
Look at that.
Okay,
Here
awesome.
Here comes Gary. All right, look at that. 2 weeks in a row. Woo! I hear his sound going click, 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 click.
Yeah, I must agree with you, Sam. I think the opening bit is also really, really cool.
What, the letter?
I like that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is so cool. It has a couple of names in there that I'm really interested in too.
Hey guys.
Hey,
hello.
Gary. We're just hopped into this. I did the Dragon 59 and 63 preludes from the Fiend Knights, and we're in on this. So after this, we will get start rolling with all of your list, which is awesome.
What I like about your heraldry, Anna, is that in most cases it looks like it's something that could have been painted with the technology at the time. It's like
that was my goal with these.
Absolutely,
they should be something that and I wanted to reach back to something old, so to speak. Yeah,
I always think back of that scene in I think it's the Two Towers or maybe the Fellowship, where they're stamping the white hand of Saruman on these. these orcs, and so it's crude but effective.
The one I remember about shields is in the 13th Warrior where they duel each other with the shields, and then once the shield breaks, and there's just like shields are shields, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, they got the metal circle, and then they got the wood and crack, crack, crack. You know, so
I mean, no one's heraldry should look as good as the day it was painted.
No, it's kind of but these are kind of ideal. But I also make versions that are old and worn too on some of them, because there's some of them are like, if they find a pristine what they look like originally, these are what they will look like originally. But some of them are also how they're being found, so all rusty, crooked, and stuff. So
oh, definitely, yeah,
really nice. So once again, if you just hopped on, 3 giveaways, 2 of this publication courtesy of Stuart and Paul, and one.
Jay, it still says coolest historical campaigns.
Oh, it does, because I am not cool. Thank you.
Now we have 2 interesting when it comes to that letter in the initial part of this document that I think is really cool. There are 2 place names, kind of names, that either the first one is Mentir. Is that just a typo when it comes to Mentre, or they just changed the name, or is that another place? Because if it's another place, I'll love to put it on the map somewhere. It's in the letter, my eternal excellency, in the first paragraph.
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
Forces north of Mentir.
Yeah, exactly.
My
is that Mentre typo or
could be the dialect change difference.
Yeah, it might be, but it's cool. So if not, then there's another place we can put on the map. So yeah.
Anna, when in doubt,
invent a place.
Invent a place. Yeah.
Yes.
We don't know how many things in GREYHAWK are bad editing or
exactly. I'm sure there's several, and there's another one in here. The Dvalish garrison. I tried to go through my Evernote and all my research data. Dvalish, no hits.
I would just
the only hit.
Stuart and ask him.
Oh yeah. So Dvalish, I'm also curious where Dvalish comes from. So yeah.
But if you were writing a campaign and you wanted to have some authenticity, you would in purpose make mistakes like this, because it really makes it authentic, to have place names with different spellings, or or even that the real people writing letters are not perfect.
Foreshadowing from someone's point of view, right? Events. This letter is from someone's point of view, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of the stuff that we work with is in character and has questionable veracity and definitely biases.
Yep. So
and now I see that there are a couple of shields. I did Fiend Knight shields, but I haven't done them in the new format. Damn. I missed them. I need to do them.
Okay.
I'm going to, because I'm going
anything you want to put in Discord, just let me know and I'll download it again.
Yeah.
And save it.
It's nice to know that people in the lower planes have such beautiful penmanship.
Yes.
Yes. So I.
Well, it's always like that.
Yeah. This is my version I use for my Alyssa campaign. I put it in Discord. So I'm going to make it's an old version that I used for there. So they never made it into the official.
Oh yeah. I have that one. That's an old one. I have that.
Yeah.
Is that an ongoing campaign, Anna, or did you wrap it up and move to Shieldland?
It pewtered out. So it's in that sense, it's an ongoing story. It's still tied in a certain date. I know what date it ended, so we can kind of continue and stuff. But it was basically because people, the primary players moved away. So that was my take on the Fiend Knights.
That's cool.
So I just wanted to do something.
I love the Great Kingdom, the eyes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did you guys talk about the fact that is it Rob Kuntz that created the Fiend Knights?
Yes.
Yes, we went through the early references from the news articles from Dragon.
100% Rob with Gary's approval, and Rob writing these articles. He did a lot of the events. He was on it. So here it says Fiend Knights and GREYHAWK and beyond for use here. Many Fiend Knights are lost during the fall of Roxy's, so there you go. But several Fiend Knights are at large by 591. Sir Darianth, the Bloodwain of Belport, I
like
thought
that.
Bellport had
Yeah.
an E in there, didn't it? Doesn't Bellport have another? Isn't it
No.
BELLE? No. Okay.
No,
I
I
think
think it's
I
good.
think
I
that's
think
right. Okay.
that's
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 right.
the right spelling. Yeah.
Okay.
And I must say, I like that shield a lot, so to speak, and it's using the same template that
Okay.
I'm using. So it's I love it. So that is good heraldry. Yeah.
So over King Grenel. Grenel is always around still. Has issued a considerable bounty for his head. Notice foregone unclaimed. No wonder why. Yeah.
It's interesting to think about what would happen to a group of knights who were, undyingly loyal to someone and that person disappears
Yep.
or is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get confused? Who does their loyalty then turn to? Or are they free agents now? Have they been released from their curse?
Well, I think it's like a skeleton warrior that's circlet's broken.
Mm-hmm.
They're free. They're self-willed at that point. I think it's the same thing. I think
it depends on the alignment. A lawful will simply say, well, now I have no reason to fight for this because the organization doesn't exist. But on the other hand, the ones that are more kind of, if it's the purpose behind what they were fighting rather than the organization, they will continue to fight for the cause, whether the organization
Maybe they're
exists
still
or
going
not.
to try to recover Roxy's and
Yeah, meaning some knights, if they say, "Oh, I was fighting for the Great Kingdom and the honor of Great Kingdom," and if the Great Kingdom doesn't exist anymore, they might find someone else to fight for. But some of them probably fought for the glory of Erdi or someone who looked like them or whatever. So they would just go on fighting forever and die with the cause. Or they might simply refuse to accept reality. That's another thing, and just become rogue, whatever, cause chaos. Or just get so pissed at reality. They accept that it changed, but they are still going to fight reality anyway, so to speak.
I would think that even the lawful evil ones go, well, now I can do this myself and I can get the organization back together. That's just, well.
Or they just become and say, well, now the Great Kingdom doesn't exist, but I'm going to make my own, carve out my own little kingdom somewhere, so to speak, or like the Dreadlord Defar and stuff like that. You carve out your own little thing, or that several of the Death Knights did that, so to speak. They carve out their own domain, waiting for either to hold on. And if you're dead, then you can hold on. For undead, you can hold on for a long time. So waiting for better times to come. And maybe the Feed Knights can fall into that category, or they might find someone else to fight for, or they just decide to fight for themselves.
Or they could even kind of go into like a slumber where
Yeah.
they're just waiting for orders because
Exactly.
they don't have any more orders.
Yeah.
And so the PCs stumble on them.
Yeah.
And
yeah, and this also ties into the important question: what are they in a more kind of physical sense, so to speak? Are they still humans, or are they turned fiends? Meaning, what are their biology? What type of monster are they?
They feel like the lesser number 3 on the ring race almost. That's what they feel like to me. The ones that aren't named.
I don't like going that far with them. I like them to still be mostly human.
I agree on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Keep it as low magic and gritty as you can, but in their minds, things have happened. I mean, they're fanatical. They're crazy. So maybe they have a few fiendish-like abilities, but for the most part, they're really still just humans. But
Gary, that is also interesting from a in-game perspective, because if they take off their armor, they can blend in with the general population.
Yes, isn't that scary?
Yes, they're more scary when they don't have all their stuff. They can come and kill you in the dark, so to speak.
Obviously,
and no one knows what it.
They've been designed for maximum intimidation. Their
Oh,
armor, everything about them is intimidating. I don't know. Did they connect them to? Because Ivid has always had his companion guard too, which is like a small army that defends.
But it's interesting if they are of a different nature, so to speak, maybe even physically or whatever, so to speak. Yeah.
They, and the armor gives them extreme resistances and immunities. Immune to fire, that's nasty. And just and then
I tend to think it's the magic that augments them and makes them superhuman. But if you notice in Rob's original write-up, is that they're not all like name level super ultimate. guys, some of them are not,
But it's more
medium
like
level.
they are not a type of monster. They are a full organization, full of
Right.
of them in various power levels, so to speak.
Which means a DM can use them at lower
So-
levels.
Yep.
The other
and get a
mysterious
lot of-
Tim is going to join us to hang because he likes hearing about military groups. But I got something really bad for him. You
Uh-oh.
are breaking the law right now. Did you know that, Tim?
No, how?
There is a national outdoor, a New Jersey-wide outdoor fire ban for the state right now.
Are you sure
How do
that
you
Tim
know
is?
How do you know I'm outdoors?
Yeah, right.
How do you know you're in?
I'm just telling you. I'm just
Prove
telling
it.
you. One of your neighbors could rat you out. I'm just telling you.
They know better.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, if they want to live.
So,
Oh, dear. Oh dear. Yep.
All right. So,
All the rumors that the Black Knight might have been in the Fiend Knights is completely
I don't see him.
speculation.
I don't see him as a fiend knight. I really don't. Do you think?
No, he's more of a wannabe Death Knight.
Yeah.
Who-
yeah. The Black Knight from the Joust.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gary. That's your forte.
And Rob.
You
Rob's
just-
played them the last 2 years. Phantom
Oh, there
and Jay.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys decide. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes, who's coming to arrest him in all seriousness? No one who's got is sane. So, and they got some really cool special abilities, and just it's something to instill fear on, even outside the Great Kingdom. So, you could have one go rogue and just be wandering around like I don't know outside of Hardby because he's lost his way because his whatever master he served is dead. Who knows?
Yeah, and this is also interesting when you run a game later in history. You can use all this, and it can take in various twists. And they might now be rival groups. There might be one group who simply say we.
They might have
refuse to-"
splintered. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you
maybe
have one-
half of them think that without Ivid, they're free agents, and the other half think no, we have to continue the the fight.
Yeah, or what if a lot of them have gone to Rossi's and there is something there, and Karulk or someone might simply say, well, Ivid is here or he's there, just stay loyal and he will come back or whatever, and he will form now the guard of Karulk or someone, and that will be the new whatever or something. Yeah,
you see this all the time when Julius Caesar was stabbed.
exactly. You
everyone
have
split.
Yeah.
By the way,
fight
each other. I'm going off on tangents. Do you guys see the preview for Gladiator 2? It looks good.
Oh, looks awesome. Oh, that trailer
it's the kid.
looks fantastic.
The kid Lucius is grown up now, and he's the main character.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wow, this.
I haven't seen the trailer in a long time.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for it. It looks really good.
Not since the movie Medieval. That was the latest trailer of that caliber that I saw. That was fantastic. Yeah.
I filmed it entirely on Malta, I think. So, so here's some of each special abilities of each Fiend Knight variant, and then we come down to the last page in the Marshal.
It's interesting that the last stat block is the 2024 version or 5.2 or whatever say, but the previous.
You mean his?
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of I'm sorry. Yeah, they're using the latest version, which they're really up to date.
Using it here too. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool.
I'm not that keen on the new stat block, to be honest. I think it's a little bit too complicated.
Yeah.
With all the mods and save and all that.
They want it there because just so it's.
Oh yeah, they want all of it there. It's cool. Yeah.
I understand why. So
yeah.
Hey, Glass, good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, this is a great example of what the fans can do even in a short amount of time. I think for $2, for what used to be the price of a cup of coffee, it's definitely worth picking up because
yep.
You can definitely use this right away in your campaign.
It's a first
definitely. Yep.
generation DM's Guild publication, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that we're going to probably get a lot of new stuff on DM's Guild, stuff that's from all sorts of places, and we're not, sure what's going to be in there because you kind of have to buy it to see what's inside. But I hope people favor creating new things rather than just updating or regurgitating old stuff.
Yeah.
Hold that thought, Gary, for the next hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see a. You don't want a sequel. You don't want a sequel.
Yeah, and there's another.
I don't want any more return twos. or
No.
descents
This is
into,
gonna be
or
cool.
Yeah, yeah. But
Mm.
there's another little Easter egg or something that I think where the page numbers are. That is kind of cool. That can almost be the medallion they're wearing around their neck to identify the unit, so to speak.
Oh,
Because
this.
it's no,
Yeah.
not that one.
Oh,
Where
no.
the
well,
page
Oh,
numbers.
this.
the-
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that being the medallion they're using for to identify themselves or something. So
Naz, if you don't get it tonight, man, just reach out to me tomorrow morning, and I'll give it to you in Discord if you can't stay up, man. I understand.
last call at White Blue Mountain. Yep.
So so this guy's nasty. There you go, the marshal, and he's even
all he has to do is throw himself on you, and you'd get
yeah, because of
spiked.
the weapon. Yeah, absolutely.
The armor's just
Yeah, I really like the armor giving them all these kind of cool stuff, so to speak. And
Right.
and yeah,
it's got like Conan vibes.
yep.
That's true. It does.
Conan wasn't that known for his armor, though.
No, his enemies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So note that there are references in here from Dragon 59, Dragon 206, and Nivid the
Mhm.
Undying. So
Yep.
and that's where So yeah, it's a good start, and two of you will have it as a free download off a drive-through tonight as part of our giveaways.
Awesome.
Alrighty, courtesy of, like I said, Stuart and Paul. They wish they could be here, but being in the UK, Great Britain, and Stuart had something super early, so he couldn't do it.
Two of the best fan authors in the community. So
Oh, there's one right there.
yeah, definitely support them.
What are you doing on now, man? Like, there's one. We just finished it up. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh. That's
Paul.
awesome.
There's Paul.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Paul, we went over it all. Thank you so very much. Oh, what am I doing
Yep.
here?
Yeah. Good.
He was in the pub.
Oh, you were in the pub, I love. Jeez. Oh my gosh. All right. So we got an extensive list now beyond. So Paul, we went over a lot. Thank you. Thank you for the giveaways that Stuart set up. We're ready to rock and roll here. So we're going to talk about some of the other orgs in the Great Kingdom. So Gary, man, you gave me a quick list here of ones. I snipped it. So
Yep.
let's hit one. Let's hit them up and let's start rocking and rolling here.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I'd preface it with is to say I don't think Gygax ever intended the Great Kingdom to get detailed. For him, the city of GREYHAWK was the center of the campaign, and the Great Kingdom was kind of like the backdrop.
Yeah, he wanted it to be legacy. But there's one thing I want to say before we go into organizations. There's one cool thing that I've noticed today that in Nivid the Undying that I probably read 5 times. I didn't even realize what I was reading. Is that the Urflani or the Urflan they are listed as mystics of the Flan, not as a people. They are listed as the mystics that were feared more of among the Flan than among the Erdi. And
they might have been
thing.
a leadership cast.
Or something. Yeah, it's interesting because that's one of the definitions of Urflan that I've never had read before, but it was there blank in the text in one of the first pages.
Yeah, I mean, Eric and Sam and we've kind of expanded the definition of Urflan to include a lot of different cultures, but it does seem like Sargent was mostly focused on those.
Yeah,
those
but I like that explanation of the Urflan seen from the Erdi side, because the whole of the Nivid the Undying is written from the Erdi perspective. So
that's
who
right.
They really were, or if that is actually a Flan thing expression, or if that was just a label that the Erdi gave to certain aspects of it. Yeah,
a third-party label. They definitely didn't call themselves Urflan, but
exactly.
But if somebody wants to make up a word in Flan for them,
it's interesting
direction.
that was a little that. But I'm sorry, that was
no, it's okay. I mean, this is a great discussion. We're going to be doing a lot of these as stuff comes out. Really. We're going to be doing a lot more of because it's going to be a really interesting times.
We will have a lot of things to review and look at.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do some ball busting here.
Uh-oh.
The man who was the most negative of all of on the Ask the Expert show is the one that got his thing out on DM's Guild very quickly, and it already went to silver, right? Joe?
Oh yeah,
So
it's 122 pages, and it's really good.
That was so awesome.
It's a overview of everything GREYHAWK.
Yeah.
So
And that I
hats off
wanted to share with it. That was what I missed. So here, I want to show you all something, and hopefully I can find it. So has this ever happened in the past? Tim had a phone call. He's coming back on. All right. So let me go to Twitter here. Let me go to the DM's Guild, because there is a separate. Here it is. So
A Song of Closure.
yeah. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah. He got his own post from DM's Guild.
Mm-hmm.
The GREYHAWK campaign guide is available now. They actually gave him his own post on DM's Guild.
Wow, we are in the limelight now in the GREYHAWK community.
The early bird gets the win.
Yeah.
And
I guess
one
there's
thing,
more of these.
Let's face it, he had this document sitting.
Right.
yeah,
for,
but
in his pile for a while, so it's not like it came out of nowhere. He knows.
And one interesting thing with it is that he uses the old names for the countries.
Right.
Not Heraldry or
I know,
it's
North
called
Province and all.
Blackmore
Yeah.
and North Province and
Right.
all that. It's a 576 guide to GREYHAWK. Yep.
And so,
which is kind of interesting
there's
because if he can do it, then it seems to be open to using the old names. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but I responded to a post where they wanted to know about our project. So yes, so Watsy is aware. So all right. So hit us up with one. Hit us up with something, Gary, and tell us where we need to go reference wise. Yep.
Yeah. So I would just say, other than the Fiend Knights, which you guys already discussed, there were hardly any organizations in the Great Kingdom until Carl Sargent, took a look at that area and really did a number on it with Ivid the Undying. I mean, he really expanded the map there. And so maybe we should just start with his. Anna, you and I have looked at a lot of his organizations, and one of probably the more famous is the Midnight Darkness.
So I gotta go to Powers and Factions, page 9.
Yep.
Actually, even before Midnight Darkness, let's go to the Children of Joey D.
Yes, that was good.
So this is something he created completely himself. Was the idea that within the Great Kingdom there were these supernatural or unique individuals that had powerful destinies and unique abilities to rise, and they were called Children of Joey D because Joey D is something like the the prophetess of the Great Kingdom, the one who told them that their destiny was in the the far eastern side of the map, and that they should go pursue their destiny there and found a great kingdom. So
pre-devastation. So it says Queen Joy D of pre-devastation history was a priestess of great magical. That's who the deity is now. I guess.
So pre-devastation has the Iridians still far to the west before the Veclunish let them come through their lands.
In your opinion, is she demigod or lesser?
I believe they put her as a hero. Quasi deity, or a hero deity. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically that level as those guys.
Okay.
Not a true deity.
Okay.
But it's something awesome to build on from history back in the day. You can have cult sects, call it whatever you want.
Okay.
Of it.
Awesome.
It's a lot like the what are they called in Forgotten Realms? The Mistra people, the people who are touched by Mistra.
Seven Sisters.
Yeah, but there's a whole, it's also Elminster and a bunch of other people.
I don't know specifically. I mean,
the Chosen. Yeah,
the Chosen. Okay.
Yeah, the Chosen of Mistra.
Chosen. Ed's back every one Sunday night, November 10th, by the way, on Gabbin. So there you go. Just so you're aware.
Thanks for the warning.
All right, so these are this is one that's like out there, right? Does
that have a list there for sergeants?
I'm here under powers and factions. I'm assuming that's it here. Royal houses.
It didn't have a little marriage. It didn't have a little list on that paragraph.
Let me just see here. This is a big peasants. Rulership and law, judges of the seasons. It's still under.
I mean, it includes people like Shandor, sort of the Merlin of the Great Kingdom, and
I can always just do word searches on them.
Well,
So.
we have some of the obvious ones after Joey's children are the noble houses. They are kind of organizations in their own right, in some sense, or they are kind of the over organizations, or the
they
hubs for.
They may be the most important divisions of the Great Kingdom, right?
Royal houses, they're called here.
Yeah,
the celestial houses.
Right.
Yeah. And they're kind of groups or they are organizations that network, so to speak, meaning families and guilds and priesthoods, and take like the Darmans with the Silches and stuff that are under their control and in their orbit and stuff. So they're power blocks, or a bit like modern day parties or something like that. There are like coalitions of interest and stuff under one that are partially blood, partially economic interest, military politics. And
if I'm not mistaken, the only two that were created by Gygax were the Naelax and the Rax.
That's all I ever read in the original
exactly.
book.
And
Sergeant added the Crandon, the Torquan.
Yeah, but I love it.
Darman.
This is some of the best stuff in Even the Undying are the noble houses. I think they're great.
It's nice. It's nice. So I skipped ahead here, and it says that House Darman believes itself fated to be the next ruling royal house of Zavener, employing a sensible long-term strategy. What happens with that? Anything during the Living Greyhawk era?
Well, remember the Triads didn't run in the Great Kingdom. They had some peripheral connections, but they weren't allowed to, control the destiny of the North Kingdom or Alyssa.
And I also like the fact that these houses have waxed and waned during history. Meaning Crandon started out at the first imperial house, so to speak, the one on top, and Rax was wiped out, and the Darman's time might be coming, so to speak. Torquan was sidelined. The Naelixes took over. They were one of the strong ones, and then they took over, and so that's something you can build upon. And they also, that is something that goes not hand in hand with the nations, but kind of hand in hand almost. But it can also be, take Grenell and the North Kingdom. There you have something that is partially housebound, but not truly. The same thing with the United Kingdom of Alyssa.
Hold on, Anna. That's called Aerdiac.
Yeah, exactly. Aerdiac. Yeah.
Joe didn't make any changes to it. He just put it in there. I'm shocked, but we'll see what happens.
They at least they cleared it initially. So right now that seems to be the going term, North Province or North Kingdom.
I would say the only risk that Joe has taken is that because he doesn't have the new DMG yet, he hasn't fit the material to what the players are going to see in the new thing. Well, of course, but there's an opportunity there for someone to come in with a player's guide that's going to be a lot more customized.
Right.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so how about what do I want to know about? I know we talked about some of these in secret societies, but all right. So I know the big ones have been the Night Protectors, because they were like the holy knights in the early. Let's start there. Let's go with the Night Protectors.
Yeah,
start off there. I know a lot of people in chat and stuff wanted to hear about them, especially in the Discords and Cannon Fire. I saw a lot of. I wanted to know about the Night Protectors. So
the Night Protectors, they're actually mentioned in the Gold Box by Gygax in the very last chapter where he talks about knighthoods.
Yep.
And it's just a throwaway line. It's like one sentence long, I think, where he compares them as he says they're exceedingly formidable as compared to something like the Knights of Medesia, which are looked upon poorly. So for some reason, that reference, was missed by Cook and Sargent and Moore and all those eras. And I took it and weaved it into the history of the Great Kingdom in 3rd edition. So I created this order and gave them an entire backstory, and then slammed it against Scott Benny's material for the Death Knights. So
the fallen ones, some fallen ones became Death Knights, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it had basically I took
Beautiful.
2 big threads, and I said I'm going to tie these together, because you have in the Benny article a suggestion that Kargoth is a traitor to some big realm, right?
True,
It's not exactly named, but what better than the Great Kingdom itself, right? If you want a legendary Death Knight, it's got to be the Great Kingdom. So I said, okay. And then I'm looking at the calendar and I'm saying, well, we have an inflection point in the early 200s when the Great Kingdom seems to start going down, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts breaking apart. So that's when the Death Knights must have been created. So that leads into the 2 Dragon articles I wrote for Eric in, I think, 290 and 291, which gives, and if you want the entire history of the Death Knight, that's where I wrote it. And the suggestion is that they are, they're like the Arthurian Round Table. They're the definitive original knights of the Flannis, with all those characteristics, legendary accomplishments, legendary figures, and they fall and they become they tear each other apart.
Yeah, they're even more interesting after they fall, because that,
of course, yeah,
they become
more drama.
Even more interesting, because now you got more than a monolithic organization. Now you have they each become their own faction.
Yeah.
And and you can do so much cool stuff with them.
And then I have suggestions that things like the Knights of the Heart and the Knights of the Shielding are actually splinters from the original Knight Protectors, because those countries leave the Great Kingdom.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with it. And the interesting thing is they are also copies of what the Knight Protectors were at the time of their countries breaking up. So when Furiundi left, that was the glory days of the Knight Protectors, and the Knights of Holy Shielding were just a little bit after, not too much, but a little bit after. So they were shaped from what used to be the role model back then, so to speak.
If anybody is familiar with European history, you know that knighthoods had rules, and basically they are, the guidelines for how knights should behave and what they should do. The Templars and many other
the
knights.
Constitutions of those organizations.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
And you could see perhaps that the Knight Protectors had the original, and then everyone did their modified versions, because let's say the Holy Shielding said, no, we're going to be exclusive to Heronius and really be, a lawful good organization. And something like the Heart, well, they become almost like regional, defenders of the.
That was kind of how they got started. And then when the nations kind of distanced themselves and became their own,
they
became their own separate organizations.
Yeah, they get 300 plus years of evolution to change. So
So I love what you, in the writing here, you say they become the model for numerous orders of knighthood that have sprung up, including Knights of the Heart, Knights of Holy Shielding.
Yeah.
I guess not now, but back then.
Yeah.
Correct. So my conceit is that the Iridians are the culture that we consider Western Europeans. So they're the knights in shining armor culture, castle builders, cavaliers, all that sort of stuff. So,
Gary, can I ask a question before we move on too far? Night's Watch, is that another one that comes from old Iridian too?
No, that's Flan.
Okay.
No,
that's Flan.
Yes. No, that's a Sul branch.
Oh, it's Sul.
Okay, good.
That's a Sul branch with Iridian influences.
I
But
was saying
Iridians,
there are Iridian influences.
I thought it was,
That's what I was going to
Geoff
say.
and
Yeah.
Flan. I'm sorry.
No,
so these Iridians never were part of the Great Kingdom. So they have
exactly.
Now,
That's the outsiders. But I just wanted to ask.
But Anna,
you
that is an interesting contrast, because that just shows you what a knight means in the former Great Kingdom compared to Keelan, because there are 5,000 knights in the Knights of the Watch. So their quality, their average quality must be really low.
Yeah.
These are not name
They're
level
not
knights.
the same as the Knights of the Heart that are a few hundred or at best. Yeah.
That knighthood is gained
quantity
cheaply.
has a quality all its own.
It does.
Well, that's a Russian way of looking at it. So. But I agree with you. It has.
They're absolutely effective. They're absolutely just as effective, but their organization is completely different. So the Great Kingdom has your standard, knight and squire setup. It's a lot more traditional. The knights tend to be really high level and few in number, and I think that's practiced almost in all the successor states of the Great Kingdom.
Yep.
So I love the last line here. Perhaps the Knight Protectors will rise again in Rotic or Alyssa.
Yeah, so the suggestion is during the turmoil between crowns, when Ivid essentially killed the Rax over King and started a big civil war, which we talked about last week as a potential historical campaign. Because the Knight Protectors took the side of the Rax because they're lawful and that was the rightful king. They were essentially kicked out of the core of the Great Kingdom. And then they had to take shelter in places like the Iron League, the Bone March, the forest, the big Grandwood and Adri Forest. So there's still Knights Protector around. They're just not in the core of the Great Kingdom, or they can't operate openly.
Sort of like fleeing Templars almost.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's exactly like that.
Yep.
Yes. Friday the 13th.
Yep. I got it. It makes sense.
And this is such good campaign building material. All this stuff is fantastic.
Right, because
you can have a character whose father or something or parents were knights or came from this order or something, and that will give them you can do all sorts of cool stuff.
Because no matter what era you play in 576 up, it's all the same. They already were kicked out.
Yes, this is history even at 576.
And if you want your PCs, if they find a sword or some armor, magical stuff, you can give it a backstory. You can say that this once belonged to a great knight from 400 years ago. Yeah, and really build a nice, cool backstory to it.
And it's really good until you show up with it and start using it, and someone starts asking questions.
And mentioned in here. There you go.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's another. Yeah, it's sorry, I'm getting carried away.
Right. Here. Yeah, Rob, of course you could do that working with the Almorian borders in your game. Absolutely, in any time frame, it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I mean they're not going to give up on trying to get a rightful king, overking back on the throne.
Yeah.
But
I'm seeing that the Rel Devon could be a place where they could hide out too.
Definitely the Crandon.
The Crandon could be protectors of the protectors, so to speak. Yeah,
the Crandon Overking created them. Well, the Grand Prince. Yeah.
Yeah. So and meaning there's some goodness in there. So there can be some castle lords and stuff that are secretly still. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, most of their headquarters were transferred to the Bone March. The Marquis of the Bone March was their knight commander.
Yeah.
And suspiciously, that they got taken down by the humanoids in 563.
Yeah.
So was that revenge? Perhaps.
Did some of them flee and instead of going under? Yeah.
I think a few of them definitely fled further on to Radek.
Yeah.
For safety. Yeah. So you could. I mean, it's very Games of Thrones.
Exactly.
You could definitely play out that kind of campaign there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Radek, like I said, I know we went there last week, but Radek's always intrigued me because it's remoteness, but it's importance.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, Paul's work on the climate suggests that it's not as cold as we probably think it is. But I kind of like the idea of knights in armor also wearing fur, having pieces of fur as part of their equipment, being very northern in that sense. I kind of treat it kind of as it's almost like Scotland.
Yeah, because it's cold in the Highlands, but it's not that cold. It's not like.
Yeah, it's cold in winter. Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense. So cool. All right. So there we go. We hit out a real good one there. All right. Now I'm losing stuff. I got once again, I'm going to crash the stream. I got too much up because I just always do this. I got way too much up. So, but that's the fun of these. So what about so we got Children of Jodi, Knight Protectors nicked off. How about the Dwemer Masters? I think I got a little blurb from them already.
Yeah, they're something I created as well. They're based out of Rel Astra, and you're definitely going to hear more about them in detail in the future. But the suggestion is that they're kind of like a secret society of wizards, and they formed essentially in order to protect the prerogatives of wizards, and maybe they feel like wizards are the best to rule, and they're getting sick of all these overkings who, have screwed things up. So, you know, it's. I don't want to say too much about them.
I got it.
I
But you
don't.
got
I
more
just. I'll
coming.
just tease. Yeah, but that's basically what they are. They're like a splinter group of
Duomer
wizards.
masters. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So I have Duomer is kind of like the archaic Iridian word for magic.
Okay.
So it'll appear. I guess I could contrast them with something that's a little more public, which is the Eldritch Lords.
Okay.
So in the Great Kingdom, there is a group called the Eldritch Lords, and they were created by Shandor, probably the most famous archmage in the history of the Great Kingdom, as a group who were given both noble titles, but also were in service to the Overking. So they create magical items. They're the people who fashion the Malachite throne or create crowns with magical abilities.
Now I need to ask: is that the one that survived in Reldevon?
That's right.
That's exactly it, because I used that in Reldevon, my Reldevon campaign.
Cool.
So one thing we suggest in the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer is that it is not a coincidence that Rel Astra, Rel Deven, and Rel Mord have that construction for their title, right? These are cities that were essentially established. They existed, but the Overking essentially endowed them as these cities of enlightenment. So each one got massive universities, got massive societies. The Rel Astra tends to focus on astrology, astronomy, and some magic, a different kind of. Rel Deven seems to be more religious and artificers, that kind of stuff. Rel Mord is a lot of history and military, what we would call now military science. These cities have, sort of a special position in the former Great Kingdom, and they, in that sense, they have their own societies just based on these differences. And even 500 years later, there's still a sage called Pluffet's Measure who's still writing history in the University of Rel Mord.
Me asking dumb question.
Yeah.
Is Rel French overall? Rel Mord, is it of Mord? What is it Rel for?
I have Rel at Old Iridian for city.
City of,
it's a special city. It's city, but it's a special city.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Got it.
Because we all remember that Rel Astra was the original capital of the Great Kingdom.
Right.
And I also have it at the Crandon Nasran, when he researched magic and his court wizards, they found knowledge and stuff, and he didn't want to share it with the other houses and others, so he buried it in the Eldritch Council in Reldevon.
Not surprising.
City. Exactly, and he's sitting there like state magic secrets that he wanted to use against the other ones. Yeah.
Conversely, I think the Nalax discovered Flan magic that they haven't shared with other.
Yep.
And that's how they created the Animus and the other magical
exactly
things
Exactly. That's my point too. So they kind of dug in, and because I want to have it that there was a Flan kind of a place of worship where Rossi's was, because it was kind of a really cool location in the middle of the forest where the two rivers merge. And so the Flan had it, and the Iridians took it over and built their capital later on. And
I mean, it's a strategic place with the two rivers forming one. And and I really love, Anna, how your map suggests that the forests grow together and that we're cleared.
And the reason it became two forests was that they started to cut down because they needed the resources from Rossi's outwards, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
so
that's
high
where you
population
have the
densities.
Yeah.
Oops. You all right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just talked. I just wanted to make sure I was quiet and didn't.
No.
I zoned out for a second because I looked at the Twitch stream, and I'm like, everything's behind for a second.
You guys have a doctorate in Greyhawk anthropology.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Which we're working hard. Yep. But I think these are cool things that you can come up with ideas like this. There's nothing in the text that states that this is the fact it is, but there are little hints here and there, so to speak.
It's flavor that you could use for a modern campaign. You don't have to
fuel for creativity.
So
Yes.
let's go back in time real quick and go back to the the Night Protectors and the
Do-do-do-do,
Fallen Ones.
do-do-do-do,
Back
do-do-do-do.
in time, as a Gazumba is adventuring with Fensick and all these other people, and they come across a group in the. I'm on the eastern side of the map, but I'm not DMing. Tim is for a couple of adventures. And he calls them the Knights of the Eastern Sun. So maybe,
Ooh.
maybe with the sun symbol and all, maybe that's a subsect of the Fallen
Oh,
Protectors.
we should definitely put that in. The Great Kingdom probably has dozens of knighthoods,
There you go, Tim.
regional ones, ones that are just personal knighthoods for a lord in a small
Exactly.
That's who
Every
we were
province,
fighting.
Yeah.
That's who we were
nobility.
fighting
Yeah.
over there.
Especially since about 450, CY. I mean, there's definitely, just like the quote that Paul put up earlier. There's knights of Medesia.
Right.
And Thaland and the old ones, they had knights.
Yes, and there's probably knights of Reldeven and
these guys
other
rode
regions.
gem dragons, those neutral gem dragons, a couple of them. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and the idea that they would use these
Medigian blade lands.
Yeah, the sun motif in different ways is absolutely
so perfect.
Appropriate.
All right, there you go, Tim. You got
And the
Gary
Thelari, the Thelari Knights are the precursors of the Night Protectors.
Knights of Neron, the former knights before the Battle of Fort Knight's Length. Yeah.
Yep. And the
They are
Thelari
assholes,
Knights.
though.
Yeah.
What's that, Tim?
I said they are assholes, though.
Yeah. And Jay, I'm putting in the shield for the Thelari Knights in Discord for you, because that's the what I presume is the precursors of the Knights Protectors, and that's why I gave them that green dragon that is then used later on in that symbol, and the crown of the
what year is this?
This is early on. This is
negative 400 beyond that.
Probably about negative 200 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. So it's
remember the Great Kingdom was born in negative 109.
109.
Yeah, so this is like 100 to 300 years earlier than that, so to speak. It's just before this is
gotcha.
Yeah, so you have what the heckin
oh, that's a gorgeous looking.
Yeah, Thelari. Yeah, so it's it's that same green dragon that is eventually ending up in both on in the North Kingdom stuff, and it comes back repetitive. It's some dragon that was slain or presumed to be slain, or an arch enemy of the Origins long back in the day. Yeah,
you can't help but notice that the symbol of the North Province is an Ouroboros, so it's got to be some appeal to infinity.
Exactly. It's one of these things that you go on and forever, and it's also one that was in third edition. It was used for the Knight Protectors as their symbol, so to speak.
That's actually a cool thing, Jay, is that Anna has an evolution.
Exactly, I have
of
the
Knight Protectors heraldry.
I have the older ones. The Brian Blumkotz did the one. I have those.
Oh yeah, that was one of them, and I did the hang on a second. We have I've kind of taken, and this is the earliest one, so to speak.
Right.
The Thelari Knights are
I'll download them all at the same time, so they're going back and forth. So
okay, we'll see if we can find them all here. So yeah, now
I hurt their feelings. Yeah, well, I should have hurt their feelings. I'm the only one of the two that only lived in that adventure. That because of Tim running that adventure, this became reality that weekend.
Yeah. So we have Kingdom of Thaland is the one that the Thelari Knights, and that was one of the precursors of the Kingdom of Erde.
Other Oridians. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that might be at least when I read the history of Erde, that seems to be the precursor that the Knight Protector took their form from, so to speak, early on. So I created heraldry for them, and then we have the early on.
Thanks, Paul.
Yes. Yeah, and then we have the first one, and Knight Protectors, the oldest one from when the Great Kingdom was formed. And this is the design is taken from a third edition. They had a prestige class Knight Protectors, and that shield was I think it's a Wayne Reynolds sketch, so to speak. He did a black and white sketch, and this shield, I took this one and I colored it yellow and green, just like the stuff. And then we have the hang on a second here.
I know you're making this tough on me, going back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Without crashing. So far, so good. There you
We
go.
have another.
Oh,
We
no,
have
Tim's
another
inside.
offshoot. Yeah, we have another offshoot from that, and that's Lord Robilar, and who has another green dragon on a yellow background.
I
And
love
think
your
that's-
idea that Robilar is basically carrying a Knight Protector shield.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of cool
Out of
because
context.
because he probably had, maybe he was of Oridian descent,
Well,
and he
also,
thought he was cool,
also he's
and
an
he just
adventurer.
exactly
He probably found it in a treasure trove.
exactly
And
or
you know,
something.
and it's a +3 shield, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm carrying that +3
exactly.
shield.
Jeremy.
Yep.
You know.
So that way it's a design. It rhymes, so to speak, in that
Yeah.
sense. So that we have, and then we have the next version, and this is a design that was used by Living Greyhawk era, and this one I think is really interesting because this is like a mid. Now you have the Great Kingdom is fully formed. It's during the era of the Crandons, so it has black background, and it has the Heraldry sun and the crown, and it has the black background, and it's also the era when they were balanced. They were both Heronians and Hextorians in the Knight Protectors, and during the heyday when the Great Kingdom was growing.
I mean, people forget that Hextor can have lawful neutral followers, and Heronius can have lawful neutral followers.
Yes, absolutely.
So they have a lot of overlap where you can have them essentially be, cooperating against external enemies of the Great Kingdom and not just looking inwards. But what probably happened was, once the Great Kingdom grew to its apex, there were no more enemies left to fight,
exactly,
except for their own, and competition tends to breed malice, and
so this, and I at first I thought this was ridiculous design, but after reading and figure out more the history, I like the design, so to speak.
The only thing that gives me the only thing that gives me pause about it, and maybe just the sun represents this, is that you don't have to be religious to be in the knighthood at all. So it kind of excludes the other faiths potentially, or the
that's true, but
non-religious knights.
Now I kind of like the design because those were the heydays, and I made the background black because this was during the Crandon era, so that's why I made it black, so to speak. So
I mean, it could represent the concept that even at our extremes, we're still the Great Kingdom, and we're better than you. So
and then we have the next iteration in this is the one that Brian Blomklotz did the design for, and
Heather.
This is an interesting concept that I think is kind of cool. That the latest, the later years when the Great Kingdom was starting to fall apart, and they wanted a much more neutral, so they kind of reverted to the blue of the Great Kingdom blue. And
this is my favorite one. This is Brian did this one, right? Blomklotz did
design
he do
of this one. Yep.
I love this one.
He did the design of this one, and I think I like it because it's simply like a later design. There's no more Heronian Hextorian balance. It's just a bunch of, we are the protectors of Heraldry, so to speak. So then that became the thing, and you have the Heraldry golden star or sun, and then you have the blue of the Great Kingdom, and that's it, so to speak. No other symbols.
We are many.
Yeah, exactly. We are many.
I love this. I love the shield. This is one of my favorites of all.
Yeah, it's kind
time.
of it's a cool evolution of the
thanks, Patrick.
The stuff, so to speak. So I think it's kind of interesting to put stuff like this together. I love to kind of try to tie into history and make different things that go through the different eras. Yep.
It's a lot easier to write the explanation for the art than to make the art match the explanation.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. But in this case, it was kind of reading the stuff and then try to figure it out, and also to try and do the best of the designs that have been given to us from Living Greyhawk.
I love this so much. I love there's so much more than the cartoony look ones. The original ones that were that we had for 20, 30 years. It's still nice, but this has depth to it and wear to it. It's just
I mean, they serve different purposes. The one
absolutely.
The one in the folio and the guide, they're essentially like something that a sage or a scholar would paint on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Anna's or look like the kind that you would paint on an actual metal shield.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the idea to have them as handouts during the
Mhm.
game and say, well, this is the shield you see. This is what it looks like. So
Yeah,
any thanks
it's
to
awesome.
the Photoshop mojo that this is possible to do.
And
So yeah.
I still think that, you know, in those old days, people would just use stencils. I mean, even orcs, they would just have stencils and they'd
Oh,
slop
yeah.
the paint
Mhm.
right through the
Yep.
stencil
Yep.
and rip
Yep.
it off.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's sloppy. It just
No,
has to
it just basic.
has to
Yep.
be bold. Yeah.
Yep.
And Anna's inadvertently make us feel inadequate
Yes.
because they're so nice.
Yeah, but it's fun. I love to do heraldry, and now I've come up with a couple of more I need to do here. So this is awesome. So
Well,
yeah.
Anna, you could do you know, a guide to heraldry for DM's Guild now.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. Good one. Good
Well,
one.
yeah, this is gonna be. I imagine some new heraldry too.
I mean, that would be really
Okay, yeah.
popular.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We
Yep,
should
we have
really do
to-
one. You should really do one for the shield.
Do a one paragraph.
The shield reclaim
explanation.
should have one, Anna.
Yeah.
They should
Well,
have
it depends on Shield Reclaim. It's a temple. It's not its own organization, is it?
it's its own organization. It's its own religious organization. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It works with. They had their own Templars. Templar Lugo. Yeah, they have their own Templars.
I already made a Templar heraldry for
For the Templars of the Holy
in
Shielding?
Critwall. Yes, yeah, in Critwall.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
All right, cool.
Yep, I have a bunch of them. I've done 40 shields for my Greyhawk campaign.
There you go.
Or a Shield Lance campaign, so there's plenty
Beautiful.
of them. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep,
fantastic.
so I have Pelorian and Mayaheen guards, temple guards, and stuff like that.
Nice.
So yep.
That's
mhm.
excellent.
Well, what kind am I going to have at your game and page?
You will get nothing and like it.
It depends on what you will play. Mhm.
Anna, have you done your version of Putrid
All
Tongue?
right.
Yes,
Nah.
I have. I have.
You did a mongrels and a putrid tongue shield?
Yes.
No,
Oh, yeah.
really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I sent them to Tim. Yeah.
Oh
mhm.
my gosh.
Yep.
Nice. There's a lot of variety.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I sent
gosh.
like
Yes.
3-4 different versions. Yeah.
See how much you rate now, Tim?
Yeah.
You get shields from Anna.
Yeah.
Oh my
mhm.
gosh. That I don't even
I
see.
am. I
Wow.
am special.
Yes, yeah, you are. That's awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. I know, yeah. We only got a half hour to go. Is this crazy how the time's
Well,
flying
I
on
mean,
this?
Anna
Yeah,
or
look,
Jay, are there any that you guys want to discuss? Because you know,
let's yes. In honor of Dale, I want to do the Highlanders.
cool. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes,
good
I'm
one.
gonna go ahead and say good night, everyone.
All
I'm
right, Tim.
glad you let me hop on. I didn't have much
Yep.
to add, but it was fun to be here.
Yes.
And
Good
Take
to have
it
you.
easy, Tim.
continue.
Enjoy,
Talk
Tim. I'll
amongst
talk.
yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
I know you can't, but the invitation's still open for that great game tomorrow night. So, no,
Thank
he's not
you.
good. Yep. See ya.
Oh, we lost Gary for a second there.
We lost Gary too. That was weird.
Yeah.
I didn't bump
Uh-oh.
him.
Oh, he might have some internet issue. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
he will
He'll
come back
come
soon.
back on. He'll come back
Yeah.
on.
mhm.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night.
All right, Tim.
Good
we'll see ya.
night.
So, this area is, here we go, and this is where we're talking about North Province on the border of the Bone March and the Dreadlord
Yeah, and then we have
lands.
another of the Death Knights, the Lord Deathfire,
Yeah.
the Dread Lord.
He's definitely a
and-
Death Knight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, he's a Death Knight.
So,
One of the toughest ones that are still around, so to speak. That hasn't become a
like Kargoth
moved to-
level?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kargoth have kind of disappeared. We have to ask Gary, but I think he disappeared to some other plane or something. But Deathfire is still in local, so to speak, and a menace locally. Yep.
I just sent him a quick message. So, yes, Tim being ever mysterious. Let me see if I have anything else here from me in this discussion. So here, this is another one. Another group, the Sunseb Soldality, which is some debased humans worship Kargoth as a god, though they gain no spells for doing so. It's a secret cult of undeath spreads its devotion amongst him and other death knights. Devoid for the most part of any hierarchy or codified dogma, the cultists respect malevolence above that raw power. So this is a weird one. Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
love the
Gary
name
got
Sunset
yeah,
Sodality. I love the fact that it ties into the calendar and stuff. That's
yeah.
really cool.
So he might. It may have now says that he can't because he's already officially on. But I can't boot him because he's not. There's nothing to boot.
Hopefully, it will be a timeout and he can come
Yeah.
back again in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little bit.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. But this sounds like a nice place to really go with a weird cultist thing you could run. Kargath cares little for supplication, though he's been adopted as a saint by renegade elements of the Church of Hextor, who revere him as an embodiment of villainy and discord, particularly in the North Kingdom, and other exceedingly decadent portions of the former Great Kingdom. So there you go. Yeah, one of Shalster's enemies. So. Yeah, this is that's a really crazy cult.
Yeah, and Gary wrote an article in one of the Earth journals. What if the Death Knights won?
Right,
That's
and
a
I
great
have
one.
that's it. I have that.
That's a fantastic one because there you
Hold
get a
on.
lot of what ifs that you can
That
use
was what
to
I-
go into your own campaign if you want to deal with the Death Knights, and they are
Yeah.
irresistibly interesting, so to speak.
So if we go to Earth Journal number 32, and this was an Infinite Earths variations kind of one.
Yep.
So I have my Varnafane axes in this one, and Gary has where is Reign of Death, page 14. It's a decent sized article.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he rebooted. What if the Death Knights had won? So here you go.
Yep.
So if you want to really go dark,
Mm-hmm.
Here's your chance.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to go take it whole hog, you can take this and see what they're striving for, and you can
Right.
take elements from
comes.
this and weave it into your own campaign again.
There he
So,
comes.
yep.
He's coming back.
Oh, good, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
No problem, man. Tim must have messed you up somehow.
Hello, welcome back. Yep.
Hey guys.
Oh, good.
I just brought up the what if the Death Knights had won article. So,
exactly.
yeah,
I've said
cool.
that because you wrote that
You moved on
awesome.
from the Highlanders?
No, I didn't. We're
Yes.
going back to the Highlanders
We
now.
can
so.
go back to the highlight because
Yeah.
this is so cool because this is one of these things that you can, if you want to take the Death Knights to the next level in your own campaign, read that article and take whatever you pick, cherry pick from it. It's a great article.
You know, Defar, as Anna said, Defar is a Death Knight. Right, Defar Castle.
Oh yeah. So after the fall of the Bone March, around 563, this Death Knight moves into one of the abandoned castles and essentially forms his own little realm there on the border. So the Highlanders and the Highlander castles used to be the northern frontier of the Great Kingdom.
Right.
Yep.
So they essentially reinforced themselves against the Teasar Torrent and the Bluff Lemu Hills, and that was their border for quite a while.
Yep.
But what was happening was these Fruzti, these cold barbarians, were attacking them constantly from the area that we now call the Bone March. And so the Overking finally got sick of it, and he formed a massive army and started to march into the Bone March in order to essentially remove all these Fruzti. And the Highlanders, they have like a 5th, 6th century tradition of being these border guards of the Great Kingdom, and they have a amazing esprit de corps, and they have all these castles that are interconnected along a road, so they could essentially resupply and reinforce each other. But after the turmoil between crowns, the Bone March became semi-independent, and the North Province became antagonistic towards it.
Right.
And so these borders were hard again. They weren't friendly borders anymore, and the Highlanders, the actual people, the actual soldiers, they're very sympathetic to the Bone Marchers. They're similar people, but their rulers, the Nalax, who push the Torquan local lords there into what they want them to do, essentially created an enmity between the two sides. So to say that your PC may be a warrior who's a Highlander could be a cool background.
Yeah.
So who created them? Is this in Eyes Evil? I mean, Ivid the Undying?
Yeah, I think Carl Sargent created them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Very
Yeah.
cool. I know Dale has, loves the area too, and it sounds like they're very lawful neutral, and they got a code about them. So
For them, their great enemy are the Frusti, who still raid on the coast,
right,
and cause a lot of trouble that way. So if you have your, if you like TV shows like those Viking shows that are always being rebooted, that's where you could run that kind of campaign. You could have your poor Pelorian abbeys being raided by frost barbarians.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. How far south did they go, the barbarians?
Along the coast, I think they went.
Well,
they
used to go quite far. Probably, right around the Teasar Torrent, just because south of that would have been the Flan.
Okay.
Who probably would not share land.
And that might also be the Flan. The Flan was probably so poor that it wasn't that much to in that maybe they didn't have that much, and they might also have learned over the years to stay away from the coast. And if you have to walk far inland, then and that might be one of the reasons that coast doesn't have that many cities and stuff, because they figured out that it was probably better to live 50 miles inland or something.
Anna, do you have a Highlander shield?
No, I don't have a Highlander shield because I haven't adventured enough in that area. But
Dale, you should come up with some ideas and get with Anna. There should be a shield for him.
Yeah, but we also have there's several provinces and stuff there, or areas that needs the shield. But I created one for Uskage. There is a place there that is not on your map, but that were added because in the Gord books there is a general that is General Uskage, and he needed a home. So I forgot his first name, but he is from Uskage. So I simply created a town and gave him a shield.
Cool.
Now the the Highlanders have the very honorable job of protecting the North Province from humanoids. So.
Yeah, and this Death Knight. Which looks like there's a road connecting them.
Well, he doesn't attack them directly as long as they pay his tribute. Every year they have to send 5 knights to his castle. Only one of them returns, usually. But he engages them. He engages them in single combat. He doesn't cheat, but he always wins,
Yeah.
Wow.
But then he's satisfied for another year and he leaves the Highlanders alone.
It's a good one.
Crazy.
Yep.
Nuts. Well, that's fun. We quickly talked about the Sunseb sodality while you were off, just to fill.
Oh yeah, so
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's just something I created as a organization that kind of they pretty much worship the Death Knights almost as gods. They feel like they're the natural evolution of of the Heraldry. I mean, they're war people, right? They're not right in the head, but they act as almost a support network for the Death Knights. They often will give them supplies and succor them when they need help, or they'll
but they make sense. If you have power, someone is going to come and try and share it.
I mean, there's this promise of maybe undeath and everlasting life. Death
Some people might want that too. Yeah,
could arrange perhaps vampirism or some others. And now the Animus has been created in recent history. So
I just had a blade flashback. Those familiars that always wanted to be turned into vampires. Oh my god.
Yes, I mean there are always people like that around power. Yeah, even if the power is malignant and that it's probably not going to be good for you.
As long as it gives you power, I think a subset of the population wants it. Yeah. they're willing to do whatever it takes to get it. Yep.
All right. So you have a couple on here that are interesting. So let's deal with the bottom three here: Free Folk, Sentinels of Adri, and Undead Hunters. Because get on the good side here a little bit. Let's talk about those.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that Gygax gave us a hint at, even in the folio and the gold box, was the suggestion that there are independent, at least semi-independent populations in these two massive forests that don't
They're enormous.
swear to
sure.
the Overking. Yeah, I mean,
Adri
one of
and
them,
Brentwood, yeah, okay. Yeah.
they may be 25,000 in each. I mean, these are sizable populations and I suspect that they were formed around the time between the turmoil between crowns. I mean, there were always old faith folk, rangers and that sort of thing in these forests, but I think the political necessity grew dramatically during the turmoil between crowns, when you had people who were, maybe they were Rax, Rax from the House of Rax, or they were good aligned Heronians, Pelorians, who didn't feel comfortable living in the Great Kingdom under the rule of the Ivids. So
yeah, and you have Prince Murhal is another one that is hiding out there among your Death Knight creations with his mock court and all that. So
yeah, and so it creates an interesting situation where, especially the Grandwood is dangerous to evil people. If you go through the Grandwood, you may disappear and never be found again.
Oh yeah.
And so the Gygax has descriptions of battles between his forces and some of these free folk who apparently are quite sizable. I mean, their numbers are at least enough to challenge the Overking's army. So and obviously they have a train advantage too.
Yeah, and I think it's such an irony that the Overking declared it his imperial preserve when he can't dare to go there because it's so dangerous to him.
Well,
I think that's an awesome political irony. It was like
it is.
The Overking realized that I can't even go there because it's so dangerous. So I'm going to declare my preserve so no one else can go there too.
Well, during the reign of
the
early Overkings.
But they took it because it was his over. Yeah, it's I love the irony because that rhymes so well with this pompous stuff.
And Paul is correct. I mean, this is also home to significant number of Flan who never consider themselves part of the Great Kingdom. They just sort of melted into these forests and became denizens that. Yeah,
it could build interesting alliances with Iridians and Flan because because they are all against the same big enemy. Yeah,
I mean, Anna, you could probably tell us in the future what the area of these forests are, but my impression, just by comparing them,
they are huge.
They are massive, right?
They're massive. Meaning, Airdie must be bigger than Texas, and in size. So these are massive in size.
Adri's the second largest forest, right behind the Vessi.
Yeah. If you don't include the jungles in the south. Yeah.
And there you could see on the map the suggestion that at one time they were one great forest.
There was exactly, all the way up from these two were connected, but then the heartland around Rosses and stuff, they needed the resources, so they start cutting it away, and now they're two distinct forests with just little remnants in between, and that's hinted at in even the Undying and other places too.
But these these free folk are a perfect place to create PCs for a Great Kingdom campaign. If you want to explain where you could have had a paladin trained or a ranger trained or a druid trained, inside the Grandwood is a perfect place to say that could have happened. Gary, the Lone Heath, just to the east of it, is also very good aligned and becomes sort of a scary, spooky place for evil people to traverse.
Where is it? Oh, I see.
That's
right
swampland.
Here. Right.
That wetland next to it.
That reminds me of the swampland, and it's smaller though. That Ian McKellen was in Alfred the Great, that old movie from the '60s, where Alfred hung out in the swamps to hide from the Danes.
Look at there's plenty of other series later on that have the same story. What's called BBC did the one that.
Yeah, I mean, I like to joke that it's the Sherwood Forest
Yes.
of
Oh, yeah. It's very much the
GREYHAWK.
Sherwood. Yeah, this is the Sherwood Forest of GREYHAWK. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting with these good aligned folks and Relastra, because Relastra is now also on the collision course with Ivid, so they might get some support, meaning your enemy's enemy is your friend.
There was definitely some
Yeah.
triangulation, and that was
Yeah.
even mentioned in the gold box. The suggestion that Relastra was working with forces out of the Grandwood,
Yeah.
to help protect themselves.
Yep.
So please tell me what Josh is talking about. What are the red scythe? He said that twice. I have no idea.
Oh, it's one of from his campaign. Yep.
Oh.
Yep, he might have picked it up somewhere. We talked about it because they were explaining that his GREYHAWK campaign, and I was too tired to know all the details. But it was, some of it is far west, and some of it is from around. So
So
yeah.
what do you say? You're saying you were too tired to pay attention to what Josh was saying?
Yes, at the moment I was only half listening.
That's
So
all
yeah.
good. Cool. All right. So you also have Free Folk, and you also had
We just got home
Sentinels
from
of
the
Adri,
game
which
home.
and the Undead
Right.
Hunters.
So the Sentinels, we briefly touched on
Yeah.
them last week. I guess the up to say that they're still there. There are still Sentinels there centuries after the fall of this elven city, and they are, ranger-like folk that protect the old city and prevent people from treasure hunting or trophy
Right.
hunting
Yeah.
in the elven city.
Yeah, and the Erdi or the Ivids or the Grey Kingdom called them the Old Elves. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, this is such an adventure hook if you wanted to throw your PCs at this.
Very cool. And the last one was Undead. Was this Undead Hunters?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no doubt that the Great Kingdom has more than its fair share of undead.
Oh yeah.
Very powerful undead in some cases. We have the Death Knights, we have the Animuses. What happened with Rin Loru near the coast, and the idea that and there's GREYHAWK is full of liches too.
Yeah.
So the idea that there's organizations, and I attribute a lot of them to Saint Bane from Benny's article, who is a follower of Pelor, but with a focus on destroying undead. So Saint Bane is like, he's kind of like the Van Helsing of GREYHAWK.
Right.
Yeah.
And he almost in Benny's legend, he almost slew Orcus on his home plane. That's how badass he is.
Yeah.
So
I've used Saint Bane too. I
Mhm.
use Saint Bane. There's a small ruined temple of Saint Bane on the Pomar-Swiss border, and then north, like kind of rumored to be near where Clovis is buried or interred. I put it out there for an adventure purpose, but yeah.
So Jay, in Von Mulku's Thursday campaign that I'm in, we have a new player that is an undead hunter based on your class that you developed.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We will see a 5e version of this too.
Is that part of the surprise?
Foreshadowing. Yeah, a little bit. Foreshadowing.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's cool. So you got a Saint Benedor priest, or no? You are a maester, right? Multi-class maester.
I'm a dual class maester. I kind of left it at 4th level.
There
and
you
then
go.
a mage.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And then thanks.
Anna's our ranger.
Cool. Oh, it sounds like a lot of fun. Spoilers are coming. So, what questions does the audience have, or any other ones we want to go over? I know announcements may take a little while here, so there's so much going on, isn't there? It's just too much.
So much going on. Yeah.
So much.
GREYHAWK has not been as active since the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last 25 years ago, it took off like this. Yeah. Last time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of activity then. Someone asked me when the last publication was that, and I said it's 2008 if I'm official, right?
Yeah,
that was Expedition,
I think that's the last
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Because there's some weird thing in DM's Guild that says you're not allowed to reference anything that wasn't published before 2014. Well, then you can't reference anything GREYHAWK, and obviously Joe didn't follow that because he's got every location, right? So it's got to be
And Knights of Doom didn't follow it either. So
right. So
so
it,
none
it,
of the, and there are several other Greyhawk stuff that doesn't seem to follow it either.
So
So we
so
seem to,
here's my advice, and I think Paul and Stu agree with it. I don't think your submissions to DM's Guild are actually vetted and checked when you're sent in. What they're counting on is that someone will later tell them that something has
Yeah.
a violation.
Yeah.
So go ahead and submit your best work, put it in there, and chances are they'll never say anything.
Yeah,
So,
my guess is that they do a spell check, so to speak, to see if there's any words of
Right.
profanity or something like
Probably.
that. And if he passes that automatic check, then you're good to then and if the technical format is okay, meaning file sizes and stuff like that, and then it will become published. And after that, then it's up to, if someone complains, they keep their rights to remove it, I guess. Yeah.
So
the answer to that question,
Huh.
Troy,
Yeah,
is
that's
the silent ones, because
Yeah.
the seekers are too selfish to work together.
that's what I would think. The silent ones are a little more organized as far as centralized. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, if there was one silent one and there was 4 seekers, the seekers would win. I think it would be
Oh,
whoever
for
had the
sure. I
most
mean,
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, the silent ones, other than some psionic abilities and the ability to cast spells silently, they're not any more powerful than another character. They just, work together and often use subterfuge to take magic away from you.
All right. So let's see what everyone's got going on, and then I'm gonna, we'll do some quickie shout outs here. Well, we'll see how quick they are, but so Gary, thanks for hopping on again, man. This is
Sure.
another great one, and
Yep.
sorry there, Paul, that you missed the whole discussion part of yours. So, but you can catch the beginning. So, 50 Shades of Greyhawk coming to James Guild. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt someone's gonna do some. There's gonna be some stupid stuff on
Well,
there.
you have the specialty class for it, don't you?
What, the Dominatrix?
Yes.
All right, so that's a funny
Yeah.
story. Sunday night, I have Tim Brannan on, and I have
Right.
his entire witch publication in my orange book, and the binder says witches, and then below it says dominatrix. So what am I gonna do? I was gonna rip it off right now. I go, by the way, this is a failed class, so so I opened it up. So I was like, oh, geez, yeah. So I can never get away from that. So it was funny though. It was a good show. It was a good show on Sunday. All right, Gary, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so for me personally, Visions 4 is the top priority. So I'm going to try to get that out around Halloween, and maybe that's appropriate.
Underdark version, right?
Yep, it's the Underdark special. Yep. It's got multiple articles by Roger Moore. It's got a massive article by Alan Grohe, and it's got another massive article by Eric Boyd. So there's definitely a lot of and by GREYHAWK Mike and a bunch of other fan authors around here. So it's got something for everybody. It's probably going to end up being over 100 pages. So it might be the biggest zine we've done in the community since we started.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's just great to hear.
It's fantastic, but it's a lot of work.
It is. It is a lot of work, but
Yeah.
You guys...
And then I'll still put that historical campaigns document out,
please,
and then we'll get started on Visions 5. And we have this still massive east side of the map project that we're going to start talking about pretty soon. So everybody look out for that.
Have fun. Just kidding. That's great. East side of the map.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Now, one idea I just had, just based on what's happened in the last 24 hours, is maybe we should create a discussion channel or thread on all the stuff that's happening at DM's Guild. Maybe people can point out new publications focused on GREYHAWK, and maybe do a little curating and tell us which ones are really good, and we could start to keep track of them that way, so that we could point people to the quality stuff that
we're going to do a lot more Legends and Lore shows with good published ones, and invite them on. I think we'll do that, and then some of them may be rather gabbing. It just depends. But
Joe Block's next Wednesday.
I haven't talked to Joe yet. After what Joe did on the end, it's so ironic, right?
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So but good times. Yeah. Now, Patrick, where you would. He just said, "Nah, not yet. Halloween's goal next in a week." All right, so that's funny. Oh man. All right, so Anna, what's up?
It is GIS time for multiple reasons. First, it's time to wrap up the initial GIS, and it's almost done. So I
Wow.
almost put all the data in for the GIS maps, but there is a number of projects that will be based on this, way more than I thought initially. I thought I would just crank out some slightly little updates on my current map, but the history wanted something different. So now all of a sudden, this will be based for a bunch of stuff. So I'm involved in 3 different projects that will be based on my GIS maps. So that will use this. So all of a sudden, it's of highest priority to finish this, so to speak. Jay is going to talk about one of them in a couple of minutes. So
I am.
I will work on Friday on my stream to put on the last of the rivers and stuff. And I've also figured out the best way to do the big titles, because that I'm going to add them in Photoshop afterwards because they look way better. It's much easier to place them, and it's much harder to do that in GIS. So I'm going to skip those and do them afterwards. That like the huge country names and shields and stuff like that. I'm going to add them in afterwards in Photoshop. That's much easier. So I'm making all those as separate SVGs that I can just place in, or like separate objects that I can just place in and style the way I want to, and so on, because that makes it a lot easier. So I'm also, so that is going to be, and I'm going to hopefully hand over some of these projects next week already. So there will be a lot of stuff doing this, and some more heraldry, because now I have like half a dozen new shields, 3 or 4 of them
Awesome.
from tonight's show that I need to do. So I already have ideas for a bunch of them. So that is more like sitting and doodling in Photoshop and finding some inspiration for them. So
Anna, you could do
yeah.
Heraldry of GREYHAWK, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was something I was going to do anyway, so to speak. So
mhm.
we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to put them on DM's Guild or not, because I want people to be able to use them more freely than if they are on DM's Guild. So I will put together more of these for my patrons, but first I need to crank out a bunch of them and also start doing the regional maps for like the Bitter North and stuff like that in GIS. They will be the initial series, apart from the stuff that will go into various other products. So GIS maps, mapping stream on Friday, probably only me, because Linda was busy with something. So that is the stuff, and then trying to catch up on all the other stuff that I'm already promised to do. And also I can report from Game Hall that my game went well. There was some issues with too much noise and stuff, but rules wise it worked
That
really
stinks.
well. And since it's an alpha, I've already tweaked some of the rules to, because this is part of the playtest program, and there will be more playtests coming up in probably in a couple of weeks, and then onwards I will run playtest quite often. So I will send out invites. So keep a lookout on my Patreon and my social media and Discord server and stuff like that, because I will put out some more if you're interested in taking part in a playtest. Or some of them will probably not be, they will be formally adventures in my campaign, so to speak. So we might with some NPCs and stuff. So there might be from little skirmishes of an hour or two to play sessions, so to speak. So
That's cool.
and yep. So that is what's going on, and now I'm leaving it to Jay to talk
Nah,
about
well,
all the big things here. So
so
yeah,
so I got some things first. So Jeremy sent a lot of the giveaways for the fundraiser for this year, including the massive Goodman Games white box set, campaign set. I don't know if it's Dragon Kings or whatever it is. It's like this. It's like an encyclopedia. It's like $300 to $500 on eBay. That's going to be unbelievable. Plus a whole bunch of other things, including 2 copies. And I got one of these was for me. So I finally got this book. I never had this book before, Anna, and that's Ghost Walk. So I actually have a Ghost Walk to give away for the fundraiser, but yeah, I finally have a Ghost Walk book, which is one I never thought I'd have. This is so
here
rare.
is a invite to my Discord server.
Yep.
So yeah, we can.
So it was good to see getting that from Jeremy. Gamescape has really come up and giving a lot out. So all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay,
Episode
Spill, come on.
trolls. Yeah. hmm
What's that?
They were
What?
nasty.
We're dying to hear the tease.
All right. Tomorrow night. Let's just do tomorrow night, then we'll do the tease. Tomorrow night.
Okay.
An adventure from the Hateful Wars moved on. As you know, a lot of these characters got thrown into the present day after they got
Ooh.
pulled out of a mirror of life trapping. So not Darling's. Darling has Molly Hatchet, but Coco's character, Persephone, Curtis's character, Frederick.
We couldn't leave Curtis trapped.
No, I can't with his bard. The guy playing the bongos, I can't. It's with the dude's bongos. I just can't. I can't do it. Korg the Mighty with Kane. So it's called Détente. So Persephone's was chasing them for 5 years after that adventure back in the Hateful Wars. Then they all got trapped in the mirror of life trapping. Now they're all out. So I tried to get everyone from the group I could. I don't think Chuck or Tim were available, but everyone else is playing, and then we throw in Darling and one of my regular players. So we'll have fun with this tomorrow night. It'll be cool. That's the only RPG I have for the week. I'm not doing anything on Saturday, and I don't know about Sunday's Gabbin. Okay, so here we go. I teased this on the Twitter. And Watsy actually, DMs Go Watsy said, "Can you give us more information about it?" And I said, "Well, I gotta wait till last night." And then so this is what's going on. A couple people, myself and Anna included, are part of a larger group of Cabal that are going to put out by GaryCon is the goal, a publication for a graphic publication for DM's Guild. The title of it is Melf's Guide to GREYHAWK.
Well, you have to tell that Melf himself is the leading designer of this.
Melf's Guide to GREYHAWK, the Borderlands of Ayus, and it'll be book 1 of 3 books. So we're going to do this first one out. And the area we're going to cover, we're going to start with the Shieldlands from Critwall up to the Horn Society for the first one. So we're going to do that. And it's going to be 576 based. So it's going to be what's going on. And because no one knows. Remember, Ayus happens in 576, and then nothing happens in Adventures or anything. And then all of a sudden in the GREYHAWK Wars, all right, it's all taking over, right? So we're gonna maybe find out from Melf's perspective what's been going on all this time. So Luke Gygax is leading this. I'm coordinating. Anna's doing maps and stuff. We have some writers. Other names that are involved are Ed Greenwood, minor name.
What?
Yes. Ed's going to do a couple of things I ask of him. A couple monsters. Yes, Ed's going to make some monsters for us. Yeah. So, Ed who? Yeah, exactly. Roger Moore. Larry Elmore. A couple other people that Luke hasn't gotten a final say from, but yeah, it'll be about a 128-page hardback book with an adventure in it. Yeah.
Are you going to have a unique cover art by a famous artist?
That's the idea. Yeah.
We're working on that. Our next meeting will be early in first week in November. We'll get getting the whole team together. I already have, we've got spells, new monsters, some magic items. It'll be the first one will be levels 3, 4, 5, book 1. Melf will have an organization. There'll be characters you may have heard of before, or some you may not have. And we're gonna, from his perspective, we're gonna do some background. I hate to tell you all this. Tell you all this. I'm getting my way. Thrommel is alive. And not a fucking vampire.
Have you already? Oh, damn!
There you go. No, it's gone, guys. It's gone.
I'm not so sure about that part.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about that part yet. We'll see.
Luke
might keep you on the wait list. Or
I don't think so.
I'm just kidding. We'll see.
I know.
We'll see. Yeah.
There you go. I'll get my way on one thing. But we're gonna have some fun with this, and it's gonna be gritty, and it's gonna be your old school GREYHAWK. But it has to be written in 5e to go on DM's Guild. It will have print on demand as long as it goes gold, or if Luke gets special permission ahead of time. We'll have all art, no AI art, trust me, and all that. We're going to ask, so it's being worked on, and we are excited. So,
IUCAC, yeah.
IUCAC, yes. So this will be part 1. Part 2 will probably be the northern reaches of Furyundi, Grabford, and all. Remember, this is pre-wars. And then part 3, we're going to go into the Vesvi. Whoops, sorry. I did something wrong there. With a storyline by one of our by some great writers and some great personages, and I am looking forward to. It's been on delay for a long time. I've been hinting at it, but until DM's Guild opened, we couldn't do anything. So there you go. Sound good? And it'll be out by Gary. That's a goal by Gary Kahn. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, hopefully. It's a lot of work. But we're gonna pilfer a little stuff from Anna, from me, from over. We'll have some writers there'll be a lot of writers involved. So yeah. So yep.
See if you could set up a web page so that we can point people.
Well, that's a good idea. I think there's gonna be a lot of Thanks, Ermin. I'm excited. I'm not to think when I was a kid that I'd be involved in a major project with a Gygax, right?
It's amazing. I mean, yeah, to be editing Roger Moore and hanging out with Greenwood and
absolutely. Ed was last night. I'm talking to Ed afterwards, and Ed's like, "Oh hell yeah!" And he says, "You don't even have to pay me." I said, "No, wait." So yeah, thank you. That's the thing I've been like teasing about for months and couldn't say anything. Luke said, "Get everyone excited. Tell Watsy." Tell everyone, so you know what's coming. We're going to work hard on it, and we're looking at for some other big names. They haven't confirmed yet, so I won't tell some of the others. But there are names that major names. So it looks like the more major names we have, the better this will be, and people will be more excited about it. So that's what we're working on. And Anna and myself are spearheading everything. So yeah. Okay.
Can't get better than that. Could you do you have a link to Stu and Paul's article?
I can do that. Or someone else in chat can do that, because we're going to give it away now, right? So let me bring it up. We're going to give away 2 copies of it.
And the people who don't win, go pick up a copy.
Yes, absolutely. So I know Phantom NJ, Phantom 491 had it in link earlier, but I'm not sure if he ever put it in there. There it is. Thank you. Yep. Boom. There it is. Wait until this.
Awesome.
Here's the deal. I'm going to, because of our discussion at the end here, you may want to browse up on this, because there'll be a lot of stuff we're going to pull from the Marklands and I Use the Evil book. So I have the Marklands for you for the giveaway tonight. And if you already have it, I'll give you something else. So that'll be the giveaway. Oh, tomorrow night's game is a 75 Miniature Building Authority, 25 Miniature Building Authority gift certificate. So be on tomorrow night for that fun game and a huge giveaway. $100 in gift certificates tomorrow night from Miniature Building Authority. I think Curtis won it twice in a row, if I recall, like 3 months apart once, which is really
shenanigans.
Which is really crazy. So, and trust me, I talked with Steven Chenault. Altamira will happen. Promise. Okay, that will happen too. So got a lot going on. I'll be out of commission in a couple weeks for a couple weeks. So yeah, isn't it great stuff? All right, so let's. Anyone else with any final thoughts? Great show.
It was a lot of fun, definitely, and it's exciting to see what's coming down the pike.
The community is, I think, in a great position to leverage everything that we've worked hard for in the last 10 years. Me, 6 or 7. You all ages, right? And I think the great thing about that is that
32.
Yeah. Them linking in Twitter Joe Block's publication means that they want to promote it or excited about it. Whoever's doing that, So,
in the old days, they'd probably coordinate and have some releases ready to go out by people that they trusted. But it looks like they're gonna push some fan,
which is great for us. I think Will's going to put out some stuff and a couple other individuals, which is wonderful. please, and I would be more than happy. If we get hundreds, I can't, but we'll be more than happy for community people who have have a semi-successful run on there to discuss them on here. There'll be no reason not to do that. All right, so let's call exclamation point drawing. First winner's got to tell me if they want the download. I have the code already, or if you want the reprint, you guys let me know. All right, and we'll do that. And let me set this up. And thank you all for the follows and all the support. Deep breath. Always something going on, right? All right, here we go. I'm going to close it out. Here we go. Let's see who wins. First winner. Enoch Pratt. Tim. You tell me which one, buddy. Oh, Blue Joy, don't worry about it, man. Catch it on catch it on Twitch with all the commentary, or catch it on YouTube tomorrow morning after I upload it. So, where's Enoch? Enoch.
He's probably drinking coffee.
Let me just make sure he's probably on and lurking. Let me just see. He's on. He's on in VIP form. So, all right, we'll skip him and go to and he'll get what's left over, right? Next winner. Jeremy Astrolier, what's up, dude? You tell me, the download or the Marklands book. All right, you let me know on that. Maybe he got arrested. He could have. Very well. I got to figure out who I'm going to raid into tonight with 100 people.
Rel Astrolier.
Vel Astra. So I'm waiting for. All right, let me see here. Gosh, there's so many on. I think I'll do Folk and Myth because they're participant in the virtual GrowCon. So we'll go in with 100 people into theirs. I think that would be only fair. So yeah, you got it. You got a reprint. All right. So I'll be sending that to you in Discord. 15-20 minutes. Last one. There you go. 491 Phantom.
Phantom.
There you go.
You probably already bought it.
Well, he can get the reprint. I've got the DMs. All right, so you got. All right, so you want this? You want this, Jeremy? You want the Marklands? Because I'm assuming you don't have that. So, all right, 491 Phantom. You got yes, you got it. All right, very cool. We're good. Anna, Gary, I gotta figure out my topic for Sunday. I'll worry about that later on.
Mm-hmm.
Too much going on.
Sunday tomorrow, so yeah.
Oh, another teaser because I just feel like being that way. Here, this'll get you going for tomorrow night a little bit. Now maybe I'm just BSing on the picture. I don't. That's up to you to decide if I am BSing on this picture or not.
There's a big dragon in the little dungeon there. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Curtis. You got it, Jeremy. I got the markings for it. Yeah, so
that's old school. If there's no door big enough for that dragon to get in that dungeon.
I was gonna say very old school. Yeah.
Yes. Big terrain.
No one thought about how tall the ceiling height was. Or how high.
Yeah. You saw that one. Yes, you saw that one. You Combustrix or Crematoria. You killed Crematoria, but this is a different. Well, you're just gonna have to listen to the message you get, Curtis. You're gonna
look at those ruins.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So we got a lot going on. Hopefully I can fit it into 4 hours. So, but that'll be all tomorrow night. There you go. Teasers. All right. So I'll immediately send those codes out to you both. Give me once we get offline here, and let's raid into. Let's go in and raid into Folk and Myth, and then enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for the great times, and like I said, we're really looking forward to putting out something that the community is going to be proud of in a couple of months. See you soon. Wrong button coming? Maybe. Awesome. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for putting that out. Raid. Setting it up.
Curtis, I already signed up. I took the first spot. Yep.
Oh, cool. What, the very first one Thursday morning?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, because we have our seminar is 2 to 4 that day.
Okay.
Thursday, 2 to 4.
I didn't know. I don't have a badge. Someone hasn't given me a
Oh,
badge.
okay.
yet,
I'm
so
5
I-
o'clock. Mine's
Yeah.
5 o'clock Thursday. I'm on that list too.
Okay. Yeah.
What am I
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah, I saw that. So
Yeah.
I took the last. I had the first one this year, so I thought I'd have the first one next year too.
So
So,
that's cool.
yeah.
I didn't realize you did the very first one.
Oh yeah, I did the first one. I started it up.
That's awesome. No, that's going to be great. I'm going to provide my own character sheets, and I'm going to kick the shit. Normally, I go easy on people with hero points and stuff. I'm going to kick the shit out.
Well, I went easy on you. You survived. Yeah.
Ah, it wasn't my great gameplay, everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, that's funny. That was good, Ed. Got me.
I just had to.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You set it up, so I couldn't resist. Yeah.